find your zone every day.
Blessed is a man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither.
Now fucking come over here where it's safe. That's it, mate. Come on.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Clarence, mate, you alright? Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Fuck, get out of there.
Fucking hell. Poor cunt.
Oh, yeah, Clarence, mate, yeah, should be alright now.
Yeah, mate.
Jesus. Just hold on. Oh, no. Fucking early. Seen of War of the Worlds? Have you seen War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
The lightning's just fucking constantly coming down and fucking hitting. The fucking tripods come out and they fucking start killing
You're missing
everyone.
a once in a lifetime sighting here. Major live in concert.
Hey?
You're missing the whole thing, cunt.
You seen the original War of the Worlds?
Yes, mate.
Clarence, I'm fucking sorry, mate. What we can do? Holy shit. Oh, God. Just hang in there, mate.
It looks like he's still breathing.
Hello, ChatGPT. How to be rich?
Very rich.
Very rich. Overnight. Give me 10 ideas.
50 ideas.
50 ideas. Zero investment.
No risk.
No risk.
No hard work.
No hard work. Saturday, Sunday off.
World
tour included. Shark Tank friendly ideas.
Best
ideas. No hurry.
Take your time. Deep research. Go.
We're going to take all the breeding age females and bring them to Las Vegas, and I'll distribute them to the men who have changed their names to Corey. No kings, no presidents, no senators, just Corey. I don't need to sleep. I don't use currency. I'm not a part of this time. I used to be 2 Corys, now I'm 1. What are you guys into? What do you do?
We're tech.
That's all going away. Currency, everything. We're going to flip into a new society.
What do you do?
I'm outside of space and time. Change your name to Corey. After that, you will be executed. If you don't change your name to Corey in 3 months, you're going to be executed.
Hey, you already know what the fuck going on. It's your boy Giggle. Hey, my name Giggle, but ain't shit funny, bitch. Shout out my boy Roy. Hey, we recording this shit at the Wynn Casino live at the top floor, but we at Encore. Man, I'm about to let this shit ride. Let's go.
We get money, them boys don't, that's why they mad. SRTs and tinted windows, we matched up when we roll past. 250 in all blues, I fell asleep holding some cash. I fucked my op bitch, now that boy, he stopped my page, that shit is sad. I heard this money on my head, come get your bag. That boy said he gon' do what? Put a couch, she bag, he won't do that. Track hard Jeep and it's all black. I got big trophy on my neck, reach for my chain, gon' die like that. Bro put a haul in one, but he don't play golf. Me and my brother run around that night and we both had Glock with a beam. Mo said he popped one of these, next day woke up in an SRT. You ain't built for this life, that boy crashed out trying to be like me. Came up, cashed out, brand new AP. Everything I do, big D.I.G. I do not give a fuck about none, bitch, you could D.I.E. Count it up like 1, 2, 3. Let it ride, but that's just me. I don't give a fuck, I go all in on Black 17.
17 Black.
I didn't get lucky, I just locked in. I was down bad, now I got bad bitch. I learned how to count when I ran them digits. Drank my cup, so I'm not for the spill it. It's off the dome, no, it's never rain. Bro caught a body and said that he didn't. Fuck the whole world and everything in it. We get money, dead boys don't, that's why they mad. SRTs and tinted windows, we matched up when we roll past. 250 in all blues, I fell asleep holding some cash. I fucked my op bitch, now that boy, he stopped my page, that shit is sad. I heard this money on my head, come get your bag. That boy said he gon' do what? Put a couch, she bag, he won't do that. Track hard Jeep and it's all black. I got big trophy on my neck, reach for my chain, gon' die like that.
How many kids you got?
100,007. What wrong with that?
What that?
Y'all niggas laugh and shit, man. I ain't no deadbeat though. I ain't no deadbeat. I bet that though.
You ain't got no money, huh?
I bet I ain't no deadbeat though.
You ain't got no money, huh?
Ooh, boy, come on, man. Iron ball, boy, unlimited, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, one iron ball cost 3 planets. Y'all ain't got one iron ball. Y'all whole planet, man. Cut it, man.
I don't know. What iron ball cost 3 planets?
3. I can buy 3 planets with that shit.
Damn.
And guess what? Y'all ain't got not one on this bitch, man. Hell y'all talking about, man. Y'all planet broke hell. How y'all in debt? Who y'all owe? Face. Hell you talking about? Y'all planet in debt. Who y'all owe? Come on, man. Y'all folk crazy. Y'all go for anything, man. Y'all nigga paying rent, car notes and shit. Like,
this shit gonna be free.
man, this shit free as hell. Can you make a monkey pay for a banana? Can you make a goddamn penguin pay for a fish?
I don't drink and I don't party, so it's okay if you have. So it's okay if you have a little side thing as long.
Oh my god, guys. I mean, have you heard of Tau? This is basically like decentralized AI Bitcoin. How do you get exposure to AI right now? You can't, right? You buy Anthropic. Anthropic's at what, a $2 trillion valuation? OpenAI is at a $2 trillion valuation. Or you can buy Tau, BitTensor, because BitTensor is powering subnets. And as these subnets get used more, what? You need to buy Tau in order to use them. You need to buy Tau. And then we reward people by doing it. So if you think about it, we're all powering a decentralized AI network, guys, and it's powered by Tau. And if you think about it, technically, Tau can be a top 3 coin because it's like Bitcoin, but better. Bitcoin doesn't have AI. You literally can't do AI with Bitcoin. Tau, you can, guys. I'm telling you, this thing's going to $22,000 a coin.
Take the blue pill, you buy XRP on MoonPay, you join the XRP army, XRP goes to $1,000, you have 1,000 XRP, you're a millionaire. Your life is changed, you're happy forever, you have a hot wife and kids. Or you take the red pill, you don't buy XRP, you watch it go to $1,000, you're broke, miserable for the rest of your life because you realize you missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime and you're single for the rest of your life. Good boy. Put the pill up your butt for all I care. Just take the pill. Yeah? Welcome to the XRP army, brother. XRP. 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 XRP.
I really think XRP could hit $10,000. XRP definitely could hit $10,000. BlackRock is about to buy $9 trillion worth of XRP.
That's insane. Soulface, what do you think, bro?
Oh yeah, definitely 1,000% XRP is about to hit $10,000, especially because of them going after the Swift banking system.
Okay, Gabe, what do you think, bro?
Without a doubt, XRP to 10 bands, and the reason is XRP has intrinsic value. Bitcoin doesn't.
Okay, Mark, what do you think?
XRP $10,000? No question.
Okay, cool. Luke, what do you think?
Absolutely. Wisdom Tree just recently filed an ETF. It's going to go berserk.
Okay, cool. Sage, what do you think, bro?
I think XRP could 100% hit $10,000 simply if they just take over the Swift banking system, which will put their market cap well over 1.2 quadrillion.
Broski, the market is so red, I thought my MacBook was bleeding.
This is the end, cuz. Yesterday I was a millionaire, today I'm a slumdog.
This is not a dip, this is a black hole.
Imbeciles.
They have no idea. This is not a black hole. This is the beginning of a big bang.
Why is Broski not panicking with us?
Yeah, why is he so unfazed?
Check your wallet, cuz. The crypto is down 85%.
Allow him, Broski. He's still in denial.
Is it down by 85%? Or is it 85% off?
Oh shit. No, gang, not the hustler mindset.
Not the hustler mindset.
Bro said it's not a crash, it's a discount. Circumstances, but you can change your mentality.
Remember, brothers, the market sends his toughest battles to his most financially literate soldiers. When the Nasdaq falls, will you give up? Or remember that no amount of setbacks defeat a qualified mind? You see a dip and start to sell, but I remember that sudden emotions lack logic. Down isn't permanent. So I invest more into the S&P because I was born to struggle and persist.
Nah, man, them. How does he do this guy knows something. Broski, was you in the board meeting with Donald Trump?
So tell me, brothers, when the crops go dry, will you sell your land or sow more seeds, knowing that the harvest will always return?
He's really got that hustler mindset. Bro's got that JP Morgan mentality. That's that quarter-zip discipline, cuz. Yeah, gang. Yeah, a few individuals that make it out, cuz. This guy's one of them.
Nobody knows about that fucking degenerate life when you're fucking down 40,000 and you battle the fuck back. You say, you know what? You know what? I'm a fucking strong, independent man. And you're not gonna tell me I should go to bed. I'm gonna battle the fuck back. And I'm gonna fucking get my money back. And guess what? I got my motherfucking money back. That's right!
Asset. Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest.
Has this bull market affected you? Has this bull market hurt your gains? Well, we have the solution for you. The CMC Mega Course is now live, soon to be closed forever. For a short time, you're being allowed upon the Ark. Is it the Ark of the Covenant? or is the Ark of Moses?
We have to hold back the water. Well, I would say it's more like Noah.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? We're holding back. We have Moses holding back the water to the ark, which is the new announcement. We have extended the deadline until April 2nd because we didn't want to argue on April 1st.
Yeah. We were
cruel and unusual.
Yeah, we were going to do April 1st, but like, no one's going to believe us.
Exactly. People are like, yeah.
Even if it was, we're like, nah, these fuckers are lying.
Right. So yeah, definitely midnight Pacific Standard Time on April 2nd, which I believe is Thursday.
Right.
The course will officially close because we have to have everybody on the Ark in the Telegram group and rolling by the time we get into webinars on the 4th.
Right. And stuff. And then also, please be known that there was a previous deadline we had. I think was it for the mega course or it was like the Wednesday close? Remember, like the AI webinars?
That was just basically to get people in earlier, and that was on Wednesday of last week for the AI bonus webinar. Anybody who got in before that date gets those 3. Anybody who got in after SOL, and not the Solana,
right?
But then what do you call it? On that same day, we had the crash out course for 350.
Yep.
And a good chunk of people took advantage of that, which was good. But now it is 598. And when we are live in the webinars for the Crypto Mindset course, it'll be 698. So it goes up 100 if you wait until the webinars to jump in. But yeah, Bitcoin 52K.
Very interesting number.
That is, $1 trillion Bitcoin.
Yeah. So the reason why we called today's stream Moongang 209 $52,000 Bitcoin is because this is a specific price target where I did not want to buy Bitcoin above. So after Bitcoin crashed all the way down to $15,500, we were DCAing mostly within that range to about, a little under 30,000, right?
Right.
But I basically, so I had a lot of people like, hey, I missed that. Like, I missed that. I didn't get to buy that. Is it okay to still buy Bitcoin? Yes. Up to $52,000.
Right. That was the first Crypto Mindset course that we put those parameters out.
Right. And
that
it's still in profit.
Yeah, that was
still in profit.
September of 2020.
Still in profit. Obviously, that I will have those guidelines for you guys in the course. Once we drop down to those certain prices, I will give you guys newer guidelines of where to stop the DCA, because it's true. Like the money was more effective putting that money outside of Bitcoin into other things,
right?
At the times, and so multiple DCAs into Ethereum, especially during like those crazy drops. We even got one in 25. We got a $1,400 Ethereum price. How the fuck did that happen? That was crazy.
Trump.
Charlie,
and Justin.
We wear
Sun,
red hats around here,
and Justin Sun,
yeah,
and a few others. I mean, even fucking Willy Woo right now. I think his target is 40. He says 46 to 54K.
Yeah.
Every
time we say, I got to get a button on the other thing. Kyle, you know that sound from like the Kumite. Every time we say Willy Woo or any Asian, that name goes.
Willy Woo is just such a fucking hilarious name.
That name is ridiculous, bro. Is that really his last name? Like, there's no way.
Woo is probably his actual last name, but he's probably not called Willy.
Pops, I would be more like, okay, Pop Smoke's actual last name is Woo.
Woo! But yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I don't know. Sometimes when you look at different on-chain things, right? Like you have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to understand like what perspective they're coming from, and like what narrative they're trying to push and stuff like that. But if you, and I'll show this maybe a little bit later, but there's the realized and balanced price sandwich that I've talked about previously, where that's where we usually will find a bear market low. But usually those targets are not, what do you call it? Either static or growing. Usually they do decline in a bear market.
Right.
So that's why you can't say 100% like these lines are showing that it's exactly going to be at this price, because the market is dynamic.
Right.
I think that's the thing that I get pissed off mostly about any technical analysis or fundamental analysts that try to spin certain narratives.
Right. But I'm gonna hold you there for 1 second, Charlie. But because from
a very young age, I knew everyone was wrong and I was right. I'm literally never wrong. And if I ever am wrong, it's just because I didn't have enough information or I was too early. I'll say something, no one will believe me. It won't happen. Then some time passes, and then all of a sudden, what do you know? I was right. That's the only way that I'm slightly wrong. And even then I'm wrong for a little bit. I was never really wrong. And I just love when I finally see the proof of what my gut was telling me, when it finally comes true, and then everybody understands. I knew in my gut, and I should have trusted it more, and it did become true. I didn't have any reason to believe it. I just knew something. My intuition was right, and it's honestly scary how often I'm right and how often my intuition is spot on. And honestly, there are times where I'll say that I'm wrong and you're right, because at that moment, that was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to say. So technically, bear with me here, I'm still right. And I wouldn't even mind admitting when I'm wrong, because honestly, it would give me a break from always being right, but it just doesn't happen. I just always knew this from a young age, that everybody's wrong and that I'm right. I just think there's some people that are typically wrong and there's some people that are always right. And I think I'm one of those people.
Now I'll let you continue, Charlie. Go ahead.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
But what do you call it? So yeah, you just get people who, because like the thing that gets the most attention on Twitter, on YouTube, anywhere is absolutes.
Yes.
Right. So if you look at Jim Cramer, for example, right, he'll do the Jim Dean, right, all that crazy ass shit. Yeah. Press all the buttons. I mean,
right.
It's fun, right? You gotta have fun with it while you're there. But he gives such absolutes. That's why people troll him for the inverse Cramer and everything like that.
Which is like scarily accurate. Like scarily
exactly. So you're like, okay, there must be something up with this. But what I've noticed with Willy Woo in particular is that at bottoms, he gets kind of close to being right.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, when you hit the bottom, he changes his whole narrative.
And he wants to be a top.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, what do you call it? He basically changes his whole narrative and says, hey, we're actually going way lower.
Oh, he doubles down again.
He basically says, don't buy here because I'm buying. It's kind of is what basically happens, right? So, for example, he'll give good information up to the last 3 months of the bear market.
Right.
Then he'll say, instead of, I was actually wrong, guys. Instead of this 46 to 54K range, it's going to go to 25K, as an example, right? He, knowing goddamn well that it's never going to 25K.
Okay.
But part of the reason is because the people that he's talking to within the Bitcoin maxi community, now within Wall Street, because he did sell out earlier than a lot of Bitcoiners that had a lot of Bitcoin in the last cycle.
Right.
And he said, I could just buy the ETF and, I'm having some kids, made a bunch of excuses why he needed to sell and not get, shit on for being a Bitcoin maxi for a long period of time. But he does the opposite thing at the tops as well. He'll have like most of his analysis be pretty good up until the top of the market.
Right.
And he's like, oh no, we're going higher, baby. So it's like, he doesn't want you to sell the peak top or the peak low, but 80% of the time he'll give like correct information, which is always kind of interesting. So just
let's just say we're in 25. At what point does Willy Woo start lying?
Basically, I think sometime in the summer. Yeah. And what do you call it? At the top in 21, it was him, Peter Brandt, and Laura Shin. They were on a podcast, and this was but 2 months before the top in April, the first top in April at 69K in April of 2021.
Okay.
This was in March, I think.
Yeah.
So about a month and a half before, they all get on a podcast and they basically give the reason why Bitcoin is going to 100, 150K.
Okay.
We were at the time like getting close to that 1 trillion mark, the 52K.
Right.
And we ended up at 69K when Coinbase IPO'd, or 64, I think, at that time, right? And then we went down in the summer and we came back and hit 69K on the last time on the second come up. But like they pretty much, I think, with it, their Bitcoin insiders and any of the Wall Street insiders that they talk to, they basically they know the timing.
Right.
Pretty close. And so then when you kind of, when you know how they lie to some extent, or how I shouldn't say lie, right? How they make the narrative sound a certain way. But basically when they lie to your face and say, this is... Yes, aside.
This motherfucker lying. I don't got the evidence, but I feel... Terrible, bro.
Exactly. But no. It's just one of those things where it's like sometimes, right, there's people that have a really bad poker face in the market. It's kind of just interesting to see how they play it. Right. But they want to have some level of credibility, and they want to have some level of morality. So they're like, I'll throw everybody a bone most of the time. Just not at the most important times.
One of us always tells the truth and one of us always lies. How do you tell which is which?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, fuck, man. That's funny.
There you go. Jose has a better word for it. Twist the truth. There
Twist
you go.
the truth.
Adjust it. Massage it.
Twisting the dagger.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much, man. But we won't do that to you guys. One of us is always telling the truth and one of us is always lying. We just do some stream. We're just going off the rails, lying, telling the truth.
Let me kind of have like opposite world stream.
Yeah, but what is it called? I forgot. It was like the, it's an old riddle and stuff. It was like the monks or like the guardians defending the gate, be able to figure out which one's actually the one telling the truth to get past or whatever. But I don't know. That'd be kind of that's just a funny little like bear market stream maybe in the future. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, or there's that. Have you ever heard of the game where there's like two or four wolves in a village and like basically everybody closes their eyes and like the only people who are allowed to like come up and see what's happening are the people who are the wolves, and then a couple people get tapped or something like that.
Yeah.
There's some theory along with that basically if you have a minority of bad players in a market, they will always win. Basically because
everyone's playing righteous, right? Or everyone's playing
they kind of prey on that ability, right? But like there's a lot of people who are like pretty good at that, right?
Yeah, but then the wolves get scared when everyone becomes wolves because they have no competitive advantage and they start getting fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of when like
or when they get age out.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one too. And it happens in crypto too. Especially if you just keep doing the same old thing over and over. Obviously, you can always trade like Bitcoin or Ethereum the same. But like if you try, but these new altcoins, if you ain't part of the club, then you're out of it. You're kind of exit liquidity a lot of the times. Tell a truth that doesn't exist. That's funny. But yeah, man. Let me pull this back up real quick. But yeah, so we're at. I think we pumped up to 67 for a second. We're back down to 66. But yeah, I'm going to update that eventually in the bear market as soon as we have the new low in. Whether that's could be 42, could be 52. It's probably gonna be 48. Kind of my feeling on it, but who knows?
Are you talking about the October low, or that we're looking
or just the great whichever, whether the Bitcoin low comes earlier or the planned
it's
round
basically
time.
the end of the 4-year cycle low.
Correct. Yeah, wherever that is, right? Because there's a lot of weakness in the stock market right now. There is a lot of weakness in the stock market. They need liquidity. I think the Fed just printed another $14 billion, but that's like a drop in the. That's like it's like I just like here's a 20, Charlie.
Yeah.
Don't spend it all in the arcade, kid. Right? But they are printing money. I think like that's 14 out of. I think they still have another $27 billion to print this month.
Hey,
yeah. So they still
come this way.
Actually, I'm sorry. That was they printed the 14. They're about to start another 40 in April, but that's the last printing they're doing officially since they've said. But I think it is very likely we are going to get the new Fed chairman. It's just interesting if Powell is going to like take a seat versus like just fuck off like every other one does. Hopefully, he just fucks off. That'd be cool. But what's going on with that? Well, people selling it, dog. Like, yeah, like what do you think? Like, probably the smarter thing to do is like, hey, this is not going to launch until like what Richard should have said is like, it looks like this is not going to launch until 27. That's probably what we should have, But like he launched it now, which I mean, hey, launching a product. But still, like the whole use case and the whole app of it is not even active yet. The website's up, which is cool, but like,
well, to be honest, it kind of just shows whatever Interpol has on them or whatever Interpol is going after him for. Officially, it's taxes, right? He's clearly not worried enough about that to not launch a product, right?
Right.
So if you're bold enough in that situation to launch a product, like why can't you be on YouTube saying what's going on with your stuff?
Right.
Like that makes no sense because like you should be more fearful of launching a product than talking on social media.
Correct. Much more.
Yeah.
But they are suing the guy who made a joke on Lion King for $27 million. But,
right.
Yeah. But still, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like.
Ripto, I think Richard has no excuse now not to be Osama bin Laden anymore with his own chain.
Right.
It's just, I mean, what? He's just sitting in a cave in Afghanistan making ProveX,
making ProveX and shit. No,
it's like
he's somewhere in Pakistan in a 2-story building with his son and his 3 wives. with the DVD downloaded copy of Shrek on his hard drive. Oh my god, bro, that's crazy.
But clearly that ain't happening anytime soon.
Right. Now, Ethereum's kind of the interesting case here too. Is just like really like for Ethereum, I gave kind of a higher guidance just because like we were rotating the DCA capital from Bitcoin, and Ethereum was kind of in the same range right here, kind of $2,000. Like this is why like buying Ethereum here and even here a little bit is not that terrible really, because it's like
it's like a good area.
It's a good area because Ethereum, like Bitcoin's going to drop, Ethereum's going to drop a little bit more. So like worst case 50% off. That's kind of it right there. So like, but like even if you bought Ethereum here at $2,000 and like a year later you'd be in profit no matter what. Year. I mean, like within like 95% chance you'll be in profit by 27. Some point in 27.
And then what do you call it? 28, 29.
Virtually
guaranteed.
Virtually.
Did
you say virtual?
Virtually. Highlighting the virtual.
But that's going on there. BNB is another one that actually usually performs really well. Actually, it holds up pretty good. It's steady. This is like the 2 Chinese coins, obviously the BNB and the Tron. Like it's not like these massive gains, but it's just very steady Eddie. Like every week, just a little higher,
Well, right. BNB has a fundamental excuse for it, which is the burn. Right. So they invented token burning, and that's been something that's worked a lot, very, very well for a lot of projects ever since.
Right.
But Tron has a little bit less of an excuse, except for just insider manipulation.
But it's like the manipulation's to the up. So like people are like, well,
who cares?
And Aster really hasn't done shit either. But like, I mean, the sort of like Aster and Hyperliquid kind of launched at the same time, more or less. And it was the last kind of like, I guess like season run or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, if I'm gonna go with one over the other, it's definitely gonna be Hype. Like, I bet you're gonna make more money on Hype over the next 1.5 years, basically end of 27, than you will with Aster. But once we get late into 27, the tides could change.
Yeah, I mean, Hyperliquid's basically its price has like almost been unchanged, damn near. I mean, I could hit max on this.
It's holding up pretty good.
Yeah. It's holding up pretty good. I mean, I saw a meme yesterday. It was like Bitcoin 120 grand, Hyperliquid 100. So Bitcoin $120,000 Bitcoin, Hyperliquid $32. And then it showed like the price is almost the same in both. So it's like, so it's actually held up pretty well. They just generate revenue. They do have a little bit of a buyback there, and they're distributing tokens a little bit there as well. But yeah, it's creating revenue and stuff like that. Like you almost wish you had the same model. It's allegedly you'd have the same model, technically even more revenue coming in for something like Pump.Fun, except they're doing the XRP strategy where they buy enough to off-put their OTC sells.
Right.
Or they're just market selling. Is Hyperliquid buying Solana when it was like 30 buckaroos? That'd be interesting if they did. I don't know what they're doing with their personal wallet.
Right now, what? In terms of like supply, over like 60% of it is out.
Yeah.
So compared to what's currently out, right? Not compared to total.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, technically its supply is not too different from Solana.
No, I mean they kind of copied the basic, like 1 billion seems to be the classic meme coin. It's not a meme coin, but like that's the classic meme coin supply now. It's 1 billion tokens.
Yeah.
I
think it hit $20 here in January. Its low was 10 in April of last year. I mean, yeah, it's just holding up really, really well. You might see one more little run on it to $50 before it comes back to the current area, but the $30 range is not.
Yeah,
we'll probably stay for a while.
The exchanges are doing everything they can, from like crypto exchanges to DEXs to even these right here. They're starting to allow like, hey, you can trade stocks on here too. They're just doing whatever they can to be able to like all they care about is what I call the cheese grader. Doesn't matter what we're allowing you to trade, as long as we're able to take a fraction of that money, just the cheese grade, you guys buying and selling back and forth, basically being the casino, basically. Yeah. It's really not really it's like the casino, but also like, I guess like the casino. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
So you're telling me it's not bad if I shell buy BitLink?
Well,
because
yeah. But Aster looks like it's going to be crashing more than Hyperliquid, but there could be there's probably going to be a revenge pump on it at some point. That's going to be pretty nice. That's if they continue to try to compete against Hyperliquid, which CZ does. He's notorious for not for being really capital efficient, and then he's usually I would say probably 6 months from now he's going to start spending a lot of money in crypto.
Correct.
A lot of money.
Around the lows or just after, yeah, he starts going hard again. He's usually building the bear market.
Yeah. It seems to me like his projects usually take they calm down during a 28 or something like that. Like a 28 or a 2000.
Basically some profits get taken on the mid bull run.
Yeah.
And then they get heated up again
on the tail end and stuff. Because
yeah.
BNB performed okay during during the tail end of it and stuff like that. Because everyone was like, damn, I should have got BNB instead. I see that. I've seen that already 2 cycles already. Or at least where I was paying attention to it. But yeah, in 24, it just kind of obviously here, right? The bottom, it even went a little lower, right? And then just boom, 23 goes up, kind of goes sideways a little bit, but it's still doing pretty well. And then another ramp up, another ramp down, and then just into 25. Look at that. It just goes bananas to $1,000, which is very hard for being more than $1,000 per token is actually very difficult for projects. It is kind of not unless you're Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's almost a death nail for a lot of projects because it just gets so difficult because people are usually trading out of stuff. So it's I bet you a lot of people were probably trading the Ethereum to BNB chart probably. Yeah. Obviously the most popular one is obviously Bitcoin to BNB, but people are also doing Ethereum to BNB as well. Yeah. So that's usually why because people are save their money in either Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's kind of the two pots there. And at some point you're I'm not getting as much as a bang for my buck from this. And then, so it'd be interesting to maybe do an analysis during the course or something to kind of see what it did during do these lows match up? Do these weird lows here match up more of a maximized Bitcoin to BNB low or a maximized Bitcoin to Ethereum? Because it'd be interesting.
What's this the majority trading between?
Yeah, because by this time right here, Bitcoin was fucking off at this point. Let's go look. Let's see
what date was that?
Looks like September. Please be 11. Damn it. Yeah, September 10th. 10 through
No, but what price?
Oh, it's it's 214.
Okay. So yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah, 210.
September, but what year? 23?
23. Okay. Right. And if we look at Bitcoin, right? If I go to that same date in Bitcoin. Let me just wow, this site must be jagging, man. My lord.
Yeah, it's always like that.
Let's go here.
Yeah, but right before it went on a tear.
Yeah. But and people are like, well, this is also kind of low. But if someone could actually you chart it and stuff, you're saying oh wow, actually you could get a ton of BNB versus Bitcoin at the time, and then that's the ratio. That's kind of ratio trading. So somebody earlier was asking what are we going to be talking about during more advanced during the crash out course. It's things like this, a little bit more of the pairs swing trading, and basically pair trading. Basically, it's just kind of looking at where's opportune time. BNB is probably not a terrible coin to maybe do that, but you lock in on buying Bitcoin first and Ethereum first before you make some of these moves, and you got to be very cognizant of I'm willing to put in I'm going to say 1 Bitcoin because that's a lot of money, but 1 Bitcoin into this BNB trade. Then later on, you might switch it back and get yourself 2 Bitcoin. Right.
Got to be patient once you do it, though.
Yeah, it is it could be anywhere from a 6-month to a 2-year sort of swing trade.
Yep.
And you got to be, and then sometimes you might be I'm cool with 50% profit on my BTC, or you might be let me get my Bitcoin back, and then I'll keep that half a Bitcoin or whatever of profits just in BNB, and then for paper, fiat returns, and that's how we do it, and that's how you do it, And then I bet you a lot of people who were in that Bitcoin whales who were doing this, probably the reason that a lot of BNB was probably sold into Aster, to try to catch that wave, which. To me, it looked like it just didn't. Unless the Aster thing was so insider, bro. It was some fucking no-named horse shit, fucking Dex that was deader than fuck. I can't remember the name of it anymore. It was Poseidon, or it was like some really, it was
something before,
some ocean name or something like that. And then it got converted into like a token. I think like every token got turned into 10 tokens for Astra, and then it just rocketed off. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in that project early, just happened to be, and then basically comes around, hey, CZ's buying this thing and turning it into his own thing, you'd be like, holy shit, bro. Yeah. Like, I ain't telling the goddamn soul.
But yeah, there's just these psychological levels and stuff. Like I should just show this right. Let me see this. Let me hit max. Let me just wait for this to load. Yeah, late today, bro. Hit the like button. That's right. But like, let's just look at like this cycle here from 22 onwards. I mean, you basically had these giant like run, like obviously, right? 21. This was nice. Bam. Bam. Right. Even if you didn't buy the $700 low or whatever, but like it's still like did these really monstrous like drawdowns here.
It's been range trading pretty good.
Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't even show it here, but like a ton of our guys, we bought this. We bought Ethereum at like $700, $800 legitimately. It doesn't even really. I don't even think it shows it here. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, this is why it's so important that why I have stables on chain. This is another thing we teach this in the main course, but we'll be going into more details during the crash out course because it's more advanced stuff, and you know we kind of go over it and stuff. But the reason I was able to buy Ethereum so cheap is because I had a fuck ton of USDC,
right?
And I bought it on DEXs, so I was able to catch those wick lows. And I didn't even buy the X. Like I bought maybe like what I bought Ethereum at between like $780 to like $800 was the most of my Ethereum there. I had guys I bought a little lower than that, but like, hey, tomatoes. I mean, $40-$50 difference. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm all right.
Basically, just scoop up as much as you can.
Right,
under 1,000.
Yes. Does Sonic have a chance to survive the bear market? Yes. Yep.
A chance.
Highlighting chance. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of stable activity, and that tells me like, oh, they're to me it seems like they're trying to buy the supply up for themselves.
They finally flatlined, so they've kind of gotten. It seems like the sellers have been exhausted there.
Yeah. If you want a limit order max, you can do two. You can do a. We'll talk about this in the course, but you can do it on certain dexes, but you can also do it on Kraken. Usually is very good on a lot of the exchanges. They don't click.
Yeah, they kind of shut down.
But Kraken usually is very good with it. And Kraken is really like, if you really look at it, like the origins of Kraken, they really made their bones basically. Like if I remember, was Kraken the first exchange that Ethereum went live on? I mean, in terms of like after like their IPO or their ICO, I'm sorry.
It was an early one for sure.
It's one of the early ones, but they were a pretty large holder of Ethereum early on. So they made some serious money on that. So like Kraken's the one you want to set some of your limit orders on, but like obviously have a limit over here on some other ones as well. I'd probably which one would I trust more than Kraken on this? I mean, Gemini always gets fucking so illiquid that they don't even fucking let it pass.
Yeah,
I've never tried it. To tell you the truth, the one I haven't tried of the big 4 or 5, I've just not tried limit orders during those lows on crypto.com.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't, so I can't talk to that, but I can tell you Coinbase got to it eventually, and like Gemini took fucking forever and just basically like forget it. And then like Binance,
they can go down technical difficulties sometimes.
Kraken's cool, bros.
Yeah, Kraken's decent.
Yeah, get Kraken. But you know, but look at this. Like, so we're in like here and then into 25 in April around there, right? A little past my birthday, actually almost on my birthday, damn near. Back to 1400 right here. I was calling people. So was Charlie. We were calling people right here, man. Look at this. Boom. Not bad.
Yeah, it was a good run.
Not bad, man. Look at that. And that's during 20-5. Damn, dude, that's brutal.
I mean, the thing there is it had enough power because everybody was like, well, we should hit a new all-time high going into Q4 of 25, basically. Correct. Right? That was the narrative.
Yeah.
And so then they did exit early on that.
Yeah. But Bitcoin also ran too at the same time to 126 and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, just in terms of like timing of the cycle, right? That's where it should have broken out, but it just did not.
Yeah, so it's the importance of just having stables on chain. Now, I mean, you could still have most of your stables on like a Trezor and stuff like that. That's totally fine. But like once you get a little closer, you might start moving some here to hot wallets to have money ready. During the flash drops, like I was able to I think during the downturns, I was able to buy Pepe really cheap and a couple of coins and because I had money on hand and oh my god, that was really profitable for me. That was really nice.
Yeah, I think April is going to be a good month for people to purchase. So
yeah,
we'll be getting at it.
Definitely. And so, and speaking of Ethereum a little bit too, like another thing about Ethereum, like, I mean, Vitalik's basically come out and said like, fuck these L2s, man.
Yeah. He's basically like just rugging all the L2s. It's like, we built them up, but now we're taking them down.
You want to talk about your little the conspiracy theory you have about that?
Yeah, I've mentioned it before on the channel of just, I think when Ethereum had trouble getting out of $5,000 and getting to new all-time high, I'm just like, this is so strange, you know, that it's basically come up to the breakout period a couple of times, 2 or 3 times this whole cycle, and it's not breaking out. Like, to me, the only thing that screams is Wall Street wanted the entire focus of the market on Bitcoin, didn't want to get the crypto natives rich, wanted to get themselves rich in Bitcoin, right? And then the best way to do that is to make sure Ethereum doesn't pump, because then there's no real alt season. And so you don't get what the over speculation that you usually get in crypto. And so then it's like, well, why, right? And the only thing I could think of was, well, what was one of the things that hurt Ethereum last cycle was when it went to proof of stake. That wasn't the thing that hurt it, but yeah, just essentially getting all the L2s, getting all the money on Ethereum spread out. It did lower fees on Ethereum, but it also lowered their revenue by a shit ton. And yeah, it just like stunted the growth of the chart essentially, because it did become inflationary again. And yeah, it just kind of held it back. So yeah, I don't know. We kind of talked about this at the very early part of today. We were just kind of like, seems like one of those things, kind of like, yeah, I think you mentioned this, like at the documentary, The Princes of the Yen, which was in Japan. They took out their checks and balances on the Ministry of Finance so that there was only one entity in the government that could make decisions on the Federal Reserve for that country. And yeah, they put Japan into a multi-decade recession, basically to be part of the Bank of International Settlements crew. And so, yeah, that's kind of like that's an extreme example, but it's kind of similar to what, you know, I mean, maybe a few people came up to Vitalik and were like, hey, you know, if you slow Ethereum down for one cycle, just let us focus on Bitcoin.
We are asking you for 40 years because one cycle is 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. It's 4 years.
40 years in crypto terms.
Yeah.
So it is a lot.
It's a lot. That's like a year in crypto is like a decade in the equities market.
Then we're going to use MetaMask as a way to, like, what do you call it? Basically, get Ethereum used throughout the market, right? We'll legitimize MetaMask. We'll legitimize a bunch of projects related to Ethereum in order to, what do you call it? Just be friendly with Wall Street per se. If you're not friendly with Wall Street, well, yeah. Did you see that kid in Puerto Rico?
Oh, which one? Which one? But like, I mean, let's just say this is real. Let's just say, I mean,
I'm just saying like that's a possibility. I don't say it actually happened, right? But I'm just saying it's possible. Where's the tinfoil happening?
So let's just say this is true. What if Ethereum is just range bound between 1,400 and 5,000, even for this next cycle? Then we can make money. If let's just say we knew that, like, it's fucked. That's all it's going to do. You can still make a lot of money on that as long as the volatility is in the price of it. Like, as long as it dropped, as long as it's like it hits 4,000 and some change and drops 50%. Yeah, at some point, there's a lot of money to be made on that.
Yeah, as long as you're willing to trade it on swings. I think that's one thing we saw in this last cycle. You have to be a little bit more tradery. Tradery,
which I didn't like. I mentioned that in 24, and I didn't like how much like I had to trade in 24, especially 25. I had to do so much of that. Like I didn't like that, but like adapt or die. Really, like we had to do it. I mean, I didn't really want to speculate on
buy and hold narratives are just so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, they're honestly better if everyone played, but it's like the same thing you said about the Wolves.
Right.
When there's betrayers there, you have to start playing the game, or you get fucking you don't get fleeced, you get fucking slaughtered.
Yeah,
basically. So we had to like do that. Like I didn't like to trade meme coins, but I ended up having to do it, and it was very profitable. You know, shout out to my Solana bags. But we had to do it and stuff. We're like we had more of a hodler mentality even in 23, really, because we're still like, oh, we have 28 and 29, and in 23 we didn't even have the ETFs yet. Right. And then like holy shit, and then we just had to trade these meme coins to survive, but we had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, the IRS was happy. Oof.
Yeah. Jack also has a pretty good, easy, simple way to look at the market, right? Keep it simple, which is everything under 2K is great for ETH, and then anything under 1K is an instant buy. Like, that's the easiest roadmap you need for Ethereum this year. Absolutely.
No, absolutely, and stuff like that. And especially if you throw with a significant amount of money that is for you, just let's just say you bought Ethereum at $1,000, 1,000 flat. Yeah, I could even say 1,400, but let's just say 1,000, just to make the math easy. And they just like in a year and a half, it's at $3,000. Damn, would you please move? You've tripled your wealth in like a year and a half.
Not bad.
It's not bad, and it gives you some options to do stuff or move money here. It's because those poker chips go from like $25 chips to $100 black chips. Same amount of chips. 10 Ethereum, right? Like that 10 Ethereum, right? You have there goes from 10 grand to 40 grand.
Not bad.
And if it would ever to even break above that and go to like 6 or 7 or 8, I mean, then you go that 10 Ethereum turns to 80 grand. If 10 Ethereum is kind of difficult for you to get right now, don't think of right now, right? Because it's 20,000 for 10 Ethereum right now, right? But like if you eventually it goes into the teens, right? Somewhere or the lower teens, right? In the thousands, right? And you're able to get that 10 Ethereum, that's a lot of money for you. Then like later on, it's like that's 40 fucking grand. You do one little nice move, one good like which we can talk about in the future courses into the next 2 years of like we see moves to maybe take a little bit of maybe sell like 2-3 Ethereum.
Yeah.
Buy that and that turns into 6. Sit on that. You know, you can that back can slowly become 100 grand for you later on. And if 10 grand's a lot for you, 100 grand's a fucking that's how you start a bag.
I think the two things that we'll want to mention in the crypto mindset course, because they're kind of objectives that a lot of people, everybody should be going for, which is what is the simple road to 100 grand in crypto, right? That's relatively sustainable, lower risk. And then what's the road to $1 million after that? Because you have to look at it as a checkpoint. I think everybody's like, I want to slow up and to the right, move the whole time. I just want to buy and hold. I don't want to have to trade the thing. Don't want to have to move into other assets. I want the simplest ride ever, right? We used to get that in crypto. That's not really around that much anymore, right? So what you got to kind of understand is like you will go up for a while like that, and then you'll plateau. Right. When you plateau, it's a good time to take some profits because otherwise, you come back.
Yeah.
You can round trip it. But if you plateau, that's fine. And then you are waiting patiently for that next opportunity. So let's say you turn that 10K and we're going to just go to a number of 200K, something like that. Right. Then you're just going to wait for an opportunity not to go all in to get a 5X, but maybe you go in a couple different opportunities at different times. You maybe take half out. And maybe this one could do a 3X to 10X. And then this one, I want to do a little bit more aggressive, 100K into something, not at the same time necessarily either. Want to go into something, that might do maybe like a 20X from there or something. And then I end up with $3 million, have to give, $700,000 to the government because of that bullshit. Fuck, man.
But
who in the IRS is buying mansions out here? God, fuck these people, man.
But Israel needs your money, Charlie.
And apparently the IRS, they all do.
Yeah. But this is why you don't swing trade the whole this is why the majority of it, let's say like, okay, 5 to 6 Ethereum of that shouldn't be sold at all. It should be kept like so you can get long-term capital gains on it. Right. And honestly, on the 10 Ethereum, by the time you make a move on it, like it should be a year and a half later anyway, before like there's a big like event where you're like, it's like, wow, we really shot up here and it's trying to slow down. And then you can take a little bit off the table just to have some extra cash. By the end of the cycle, 6 of those Ethereum should still be long-term capital gains.
Right.
Like at least, right. Cause I understand you have to cultivate something. You have to use some of it to cultivate. Right. Like,
and to be honest, paying the taxes isn't the worst thing in the world either. If it's a big enough W. So,
right. And the W's got to be big enough. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just annoying. Like, it's like, I got to pay Fat Tony one way or another.
Fat Tony.
One way or another.
Yeah. So Games asks, like, how confident are you guys that Ethereum will go to $1,000? Now, it's a range. So let me explain this. Okay. I'll probably do something like this. When Ethereum goes below $1,800, I will get off. Like, imagine I'm on the roof, okay? I'm on the roof. There's a ladder. I will then put my body on the ladder at 1700. And as it starts dropping, there's something called ladder in and ladder out. So when it comes to DCAing, okay? I'll start laddering in one step at a time. So let's just say it's like, wow, it just dropped to 1600, 1500. I might take a nibble of Ethereum. That means I'm taking a small little peck at it. I might I'll buy an ETH or two.
Or, well, let's say, I mean, it could be a bigger chunk too, right? Let's say you're going to put in.
I'm just trying to make it seem like for because like, it's still 1500, like I'm trying to, because I could say like, oh, I just bought every time it drops $100, I'm buying 100 ETH every time.
Well, no, I don't mean it like that. What I mean is like, if you have 10K to put in over a certain period of time, right, you can divide that up into how many ladder rungs are you basically going in. Are you going to do that over 100 buys? Are you going to do that over 5 buys? Right. It depends on how.
Because like for me, right. Because for me, like the way I look at it is like you have cash flow, your cash flow DCAs, and then you have that 10 grand that you have there in stables.
Correct.
Right. I'm talking about the 10 grand stables. The DCA is on like consistent. All right.
Yeah.
But like,
that's what I'm saying too. So
correct.
like, with of the 10K, maybe there's some times where you're going to put in like 2,500. Sometimes maybe only 1,000. Right. You might change the DCA as well, depending on how good the opportunity is. But yeah, I mean, support wise, right? Like 2,000 is the first area where Ethereum gets cheap. Like you said, 1,800 is an area of local support right now. That's the next area that is cheap. Then 1,600. Then I would say 14.
You want to share the chart, Ka?
And then 12.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh, yeah, we could throw that up there.
Yeah.
So these zones here, right? Like recently we've held this area here of 18. Then this next area where we did find the majority of that previous low in 25 was 1,600. Go down to the wick of that low, which is the support area here that's been here since the top of the 2017 cycle, right? That's your next area of support between 1,250 to 1,400. And yeah, if you go below 1,200 here, then you pretty much have these two areas, which is this low here of 1,000. And then this low here of 875 or whatever price you want to put on that. But you can kind of like, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 support resistance areas. Well, should be support areas as we go through them. How many of those 7 are going to trigger? I would say maybe 5 could possibly, if we get a violent enough move.
Right.
But if Wall Street holds up Bitcoin and wants to get a little aggressive, buying some ETHB for staking on the ETFs, then yeah, maybe it holds up more than we think. But I think going below, around 1,500 is very likely.
Yeah. So like I could, I'm gonna share my screen cap, but just pull it down, just because I'm gonna, and pull Charlie's back up. Pull Charlie's back up. Thank you very much.
Well, while you're doing that, I guess I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin will get between 40 to 50,000. Once we get into that October period. I don't know what the exact equivalent would be, but I would say 1,200 to 1,600 ETH, somewhere within that range. Not necessarily saying it's going to be comparable, but I think that's pretty likely. I guess the other way we could look at it is percentage down from here to what that low that we had last year is a 30% drop, whereas for Bitcoin,
And I had someone ask this on a previous stream, is like, Miguel, it always seems like you really do talk a lot more about Ethereum than you do Bitcoin. And we do, obviously, because like the time to buy Bitcoin is this limited window. Like we're like, it's like
I would say
the biggest no brainer on the planet.
Yeah,
like,
Bitcoin is more like the S&P.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, how is this moving and shaking in the market? Then Solana and Ethereum are a version of maybe the Mag 7, the more volatile assets, the more better returns over time, and then your altcoins are, everything,
or the NASDAQ or the NASDAQ.
However you want to do it. Exactly. But like from current price down, 30% down on Bitcoin would be 46K. 30% down on ETH would be about 1,400. So I think that's pretty reasonable. If Ethereum goes down 38%, that'd be 1,200. And on Bitcoin, about 40,000. That'd probably be about the range there that I would expect. So this support area here, 1,250 to 1,400 up to 1,600 would probably be my low area for Ethereum on a major low. But if it went below 40K, then you get below If Bitcoin goes below 40, then you get below 1,200, maybe here for ETH. So the likelihood of ETH, in my opinion, going under 1,000, like we were kind of talking about last week, kind of, what would be?
It had to be such a.
It'd be like a 10% chance.
Yeah, it's
like
so,
it's very possible, but we have to get some fucking crazy shit happening. In
it would literally be the first time in Ethereum's history a full fucking retrace to the previous bottom. It'd have to be like, which has not happened.
And getting Bitcoin below 40K when Wall Street just wants a ton of it.
Yeah.
Right. It also requires something bad to happen.
And of course, Wall Street doesn't want really Main Street to win. They want to gobble up the entire supply. They don't want to make it so cheap that it's like the regular guy can go like they can get kind of a monster bag. Right. It's because they're like, okay, we'll cheapen this up. But at some point they're like, if we keep letting Bitcoin getting if as an example, okay.
Well, they know every millionaire cannot have one full Bitcoin. Right. So why should we tell the plebs to go get one Bitcoin? Right. That's crazy.
So how many millionaires does that make me? many. Mm-hmm. But as an example, this is rough math here, but like as an example, right? So let's say you make $100,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. The average American, I'm not talking about a guy who fucking lives in a cardboard box, doesn't own anything. That's me. That's the half the chat's like, hey, that's me, guys.
Hey, I respect the hustle.
I don't spend shit on these bitches.
Get that guy a cell phone. Get him Perplexity.
Yeah.
Get him some aluminum cans. Like get this guy
hobo maxing.
Hey,
yeah.
If they have where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. But anyway, so like, okay, let's say you make $100,000, right? Let's say you make $100,000, $50,000. The math almost works out the same. Usually, above $100,000 is when your disposable income starts really growing. So it's, but like on average, between $100,000 or lower, your disposable income of that, like of whatever your gross salary is about 20% in disposable income outside of bills usually. So you got about 20 grand. Now, obviously, a guy who's making 100 can just not have a brand new car and not have a lot of other things. And there's also taxes taken out, or maybe it's better if he owns his own business because he can write shit off and then pays less taxes. Because like there's kind of like this weird zone where like you're making less than like 200, where the write-offs can like you can basically pay way less taxes as like your own self business,
right,
than a person who's getting a W-2 getting paid $250,000 because they rake you over the coals especially if you're in a bad state. Oh my God, like California, federal plus state. Oh my, half your money's gone.
Yeah.
So you're making $250,000, but like you might have a guy that like there's literally the whole entire things where like I know a guy that was like he was getting W-2 basically like $220,000, grand, and at the time I was making more than him, and I was making less than him. Just because like I had write-offs and all these other things in my business and I was making less than him, but like what we both took home, I was making more than he took home because like there's ways around it and stuff, right? But then it gets to a certain point when your business gets large enough where you can't deduct unless you just have a very specific sort of very physical business where right. But then you're spending so much on fucking horseshit tools and I mean, you're building up like things you could sell off later on, but like it's still like I'm kind of being forced
they're
to
technically not assets though.
They're
temporarily assets until
right,
they can't last forever.
Correct. But let's just say that 20%. So let's just say a guy with $100,000 is probably 30% of it's actually disposable income, as long as they're not being dumb with their money, because they're have to pay rent, maybe a car, maybe, hopefully it's paid off, but taxes, it takes a big chunk out of it, right? So $30,000. So think about how even though like for us, oh my God, Bitcoin's so fucking cheap, it's $30,000. But for a guy to have even if Bitcoin were to drop to the 30s, what's the lowest price? 33K, 31K. I mean,
absolute Ethereum.
So much disaster.
Ethereum would be below 1,000 at that point, but maybe not by a whole lot. But yeah, it could be
900 or something, maybe 800. But like, let's just say it did that. Okay, you have to convince that guy to go all in. $30,000 at the bottom to buy one Bitcoin. Would he do it? The hand's a little shaky on for us degens and stuff. We were like, hell yeah, let's go. It's boom, because I finally got the chance to get that Bitcoin.
Well, and also it's not even just degeneracy; it's just understanding an asset
correct
better than everybody else. I mean,
but some people understand, but they're like scared because it's like this is so much. It's like fudge. I don't like.
I remember what do you call it when I first bought Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Right. I'd made a 4x on Ethereum. It went from $1,000 to $4,000. I was like, this is a nice little run here. I like it. And then basically I was like, I just got a bonus in work. I can make this back again next year. Technically speaking, it would still suck to lose it.
Right.
There's no way in hell I'm missing this Bitcoin train either. Right. So then over the course of like 2 months, I just bought a shit ton of Bitcoin. Once I was getting to the end of my DCA, Jamie Dimon was like, this shit is trash. And I was like totally shit talking. I was like, oh shit. Maybe I bought into the top, right?
Right.
And then one of the guys that we were working with was basically saying, no, this isn't the top. You did some charting and stuff like that. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting that you can kind of tell that.
Right.
Well, I'll hold and I'll buy the dip. Crazy me. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. Let's go. Right. By that point, I was all bought into the whole move. And then it ran from, that was the best run on Bitcoin from September of 2017 to basically December, January. That run was freaking glorious. I was like, hey, greatest decision ever. Could I have bought in a local top? Absolutely. But sometimes like you just gotta, once you've seen some success in the industry, right? You're like, okay, I'll go hard at some point. You got to be a little calculated about it if you can, but if you're new, sometimes you're not going to be calculated about it. So if you're not calculated about it, just buy good assets. Because worst case scenario is you have to hold them for 4 years before you're in profit again. And some people that's like a nightmare. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare scenario. They're probably going to sell it and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, most people can't handle that either, right? So that's why we do teach the crypto mindset, because you do have to shift how you're thinking. And sometimes you have to like short circuit your own mind's defenses, I guess you could say.
Right.
Like, how do you say it? Like, you will always want to do it's like that one meme where you have that guy. What's that one where it's like, that guy became the best trader in the world. He just did the opposite of literally everything.
I knew a motherfucker who was so ass at trading that this nigga became good at trading from literally doing the opposite of what the fuck he was gonna do, gang. That's how shitty that nigga was at trading. That every decision that nigga made, the stock literally did the opposite every single time. And so what this nigga started to do was literally, instead of him going with his first thought, he would do the opposite of what his first thought was, and that nigga would hit every time, gang. That's how that nigga became profitable, bro. I swear to God, bro. Think about it, gang. So that nigga literally became profitable from sucking ass at trading. Bro, I swear to God, bro, I'm not trolling, gang. I'm dead ass, bro. That nigga just had the worst luck in the market, bro. So what he started to do was, if his first thought was calls, that nigga would play a put and hit on that bitch, bro. That nigga ran it up off that shit, bro. I swear to God, to this day. To this day, bro, that nigga is a beast at trading from sucking ass, bro. Hey!
Oh, hilarious.
So it's like, know thyself, right?
Yeah, know thyself.
Like, but yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes there might be something in your brain that just says like, every time a certain situation in the market happens, I always react the wrong way, or maybe I always react the right way, and you got to reinforce that too, right? And so like, there's just like certain instincts that you do and don't have,
right?
But understanding the ones you don't have and then basically working that out is a good way to make some money.
So I learned this the hard way last cycle, right? every time I do this, right? Listen to you guys. Major key. All right, here's the drop. Every time I'm in my head, damn, this is a lot of money. Oh wait, fuck.
Yes,
bro,
we have
this cycle is so
we have talked about that.
I'm one fear I do have this cycle is more parabolic than last cycle, because I mean, there's like, why are you afraid of that? Because you get conditioned by the previous cycle, and it's because it's 4 years of just getting whipped like a slave, right? So I had to be more tradery. Like, it did make me a bunch of money, thank God, because I listened. I was like, fuck. Like, as an example, like, damn, this thing just hit, like, this account just hit 400 grand. And then here's the. You have to understand, this is a 2017 brain, a 21 brain, into a 24-year brain, into the 2024, 25-year brain. This specific altcoin account I have hit, like, let's just say 400 grand.
It could go higher.
It could go higher, right? That's the devils from 21 and 17 going.
Right. Do you not remember Verge going on a 30x in 1 month?
Dude, it's going to a million. It's going to a million. Dude, as soon as it hits like 1.5, then yeah, take $1 million off. Leave them like, and then there's heads like, then now, you know, like, this is where, like, know thyself, right?
The
I'm like,
25 one goes and says, don't do it, bro.
Don't
risk
do it.
Management webinar.
Risk management webinar. He's like beating the fuck out of the other one. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. This ain't the same cycle.
No.
Right? The bookshelves. The
bookshelves. Oh, yeah.
Let it ride.
What's the movie again?
Interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah.
So what I did is, when I remember I had this happen in the previous cycle, except the number was like the number's always different, but like it always like, damn, that's a lot, damn, dude. Because especially if off of one,
it's just run. Like it's not even like crazy sticker shock. It's like, that's actually kind of a lot of money.
Yeah,
kind of. Like it could go higher though.
Right. And this time, what I did, because like last cycle, like I kind of like I kept having like I turned no money accounts, so I always like I'm compartmentalized. I always create new wallets all the time that aren't linked to each other, and I invest into certain ecosystems. And then I remember back in 21, like in the Phantom ecosystem, like every like I think I turned like 30 grand, but I spread 30 grand on a bunch of different wallets. Yeah. And then I kept hitting this magical number, like every time it's hit 600 grand. 600 on this alt or 600 on this alt. Yep. And then I'm like, it's going to $1 million. And then I was like, oh fuck. I eventually, as it was going down, I was like, fuck, I just gathered all that money back. And like, I was like, God damn it. You know, like I basically left like 50, 60% on the table on some stuff. Some stuff I did, thank God, did take profit, but a lot of it I just like, oh my God, you know, right? Then I learned that. So like this account as an example, right? It was one of my Solana meme accounts, right? Like it hit 400 grand. Let me take 200 back into Solana. Yeah. Whoo!
Hey, I'm a fan. I'm a little crazy.
I know y'all. And even if Sonic or not Sonic, even if Solana goes,
this was
down,
Solana instead of Sonic this cycle, but yeah.
But even if Solana goes down, right? You still made more money than you would have just by keeping it like
because I made a judgment. There was a snap judgment call. Here's a snap judgment. Do I think both of them are going to get fucked and go down?
Right.
Or then I would sell that 200, maybe 300 grand because like I'm leaving some enough there because it could go higher, right? I'm not selling all of it. I learned that lesson. This is a previous lesson. Do not sell the whole fucking bag.
Oh yeah,
do not sell the whole fucking bag. That's retarded.
Has been well
retards. If you do that, don't do that.
But also, don't double down and go in when it's already pumped crazy. Yeah.
Wow, I've turned no money into a fucking lot of money. Time to fucking drop the 401k. No, and then like no,
dude. I bet you. Like, if I could go back and tell my Verge, story to myself and be like,
your current self would be like, Charlie, what's wrong with you?
I wonder what would have changed in my crypto journey, but
a lot richer.
Yeah, probably.
It's a lot because you have more capital to play with. Yeah. Because you were after that, you were trading a lot. You just had a bigger. You probably would have actually been able to buy even more crypto because you would have had because. You're in your.
Would have been trading more in the 2018, 19 part. Yeah,
but you would have made more money because you were playing with a bigger bag because you were profitable back then. Your profits would have been crazier. You would have had more. You would have had more runoff capital to buy more lows.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's probably the big difference there. But like regardless or not, right? Like I made the snap call at the time, right? This is in 24, right? This is in 24. I think Solana's going to go higher, and Solana was like. So it was weird. It was off of meme coins, right? Like I put like some money. I'm not gonna say how much, but not 200 grand or 50 grand into a position with smaller amounts, right? Yeah. Into a bunch of other meme coins, and they ran up to a lot of money. I was like, okay, cool. Let me take half. I took 200 grand of that, put it into Solana. I think Solana must have been like 140. 140, cool. And then like as like the play, it went up a little bit higher. Like that 200 left turned into like a little bit more, and then it just started kind of fizzling off. And then I just took whatever profit. Like I just took whatever left over. Put it into USDC at the time, and like, what am I going to make other plays? And then eventually, as I didn't really find any more plays, and then I put it all into Solana, and then Solana started going back, and I started like ratio trading it. But every time I hit like a point, like, wow, I hit a really good home run on this. Let me put half this money or 60% back into Solana because the coins I was putting in, there was it's meme coins.
Yeah.
So like it was easier this cycle because it wasn't like I was getting honey dicked by like fundamentals and like no, this is Aster. No, this is Hyperliquid, bro. The revenue just keeps going higher. Tau, like right. It was fucking meme coins. Like I was like I've got no emotions on this shit.
Right.
Not too much other than like I love some of the memes at least, but like. This and then it just eventually like over this site the Solana bag grew so massive that and then it just Solana just going from 140 to 240.
Yep.
I was like, oh.
Well, and that's why
like, wow, it just kept going.
Yeah, that's why I think also Solana didn't go as far this cycle is because so much of that sloshing,
ping-ponging,
it just kind of stunted it. But same with Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum, more so because of layer 2s, but
Solana did this
the
like
same result.
I think Solana did this twice. It went from like you couldn't really trade it. It was very dangerous to trade Solana from $7 to 100. But 100 to 200, oh my God, the swing trades are so easy. And the swing trades from 200 to 300, glorious too.
Yeah.
Because it kept doing this. It kept trading at $100 range. And me and Charlie figured that out. We told people in the courses and stuff. And like it did this. It ran from $100 to 160, back to like 120. Then it ran back up to 180, 200, crashed to 100.
Yeah. Anything below 130 was cheap. Anything above 180 started to get expensive. Right. Above 200, and it didn't sustain super long.
And here's a rule of thumb. Another rule of thumb, right? Pay attention. If you figure out a range, you're like, this thing does this a lot, only do it twice, 2 times.
Correct.
The 3 or 4 times you put the hand in the cookie jar, fuck! Like you hit it once, like, wow, I think this is a thing. I'm going to try it one more time. Wow, I hit it. Stop the greed.
Yeah.
Right there. That's the hard one. And some guys, like, I mean, I like only of the 4 scenarios I was really able to do this, like, really successfully. One of them, I could have, like, done it 3 times in all 4 scenarios. The 5th scenario was 25. It was been in 25. That one would have got me bad. And like, so like I meant, so like not being that greedy, because it's like, if you're able to like take 20-30%, let's just say, like, as an example, I took 30 Solana, traded into cash, crashed, buy it back. Now I have 30 turned into 55. Then I did it again on 55, turned into like 70 as an example, right? Or 80, right? Stop at that point. Then you do it again at a different time. Like, it was months later, like the same year, but months later, then do it again. You really you're like, wow, that 100 Solana I had now is turned into 250 or 180. And then when Solana reaches a new like, now it breaks above that 100 band it was stuck in, and it goes to 220 and something like that. You can let it ride, but like, we've been around. This is what the Crash Out course is about and stuff. Is training you guys, because you have time to pick up these skills. Like, I'd recommend this really for somebody going on their 2nd cycle versus someone on their 1st cycle, because like, you have some lessons. Like, the lessons people have from the 25 cycle is like, you lived through the depression.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't that, but like, legitimately, you learn, like, risk management is going to be burned into people's heads, right? But like, you have to play. Sometimes you have to play, like, you
can't pussyfoot.
You can't pussyfoot, right? But you don't play with the whole bag. You play with like 20-30%, and that's always been a very safe range to, like, don't put your dick in the pencil sharpener. That's right.
Yeah,
because
good
like,
advice.
And there's there's Solana bags. There's coins I put in memes that just fucking went to shit. I'm like, oh man. But like, I was lucky this cycle that maybe like 2 out of 5 coins I did well. I mean, 3 out of 5 did really well. But like, one thing I did is I didn't just go like, I tried the scatter shot strategy one time in the cycle. It kind of just, I ended up not making it. Just didn't do
it. Wasn't enough of a season for it.
Yeah. But like, when I did have conviction on plays, like Nobody, Fat, there's a couple other ones as well. I'm not going to talk about Pepe, because like, Pepe was on the Ethereum side. I kind of fractionalize everything, because like, there's the Solana bag side, and then there's the Ethereum side, and there's the Pulse side. Like, that's kind of how I always look at the portfolio.
Yep.
Anyway, but letting it ride's more like, so just to go back to the other example of when we're laddering down, right? Like, let's just say 1,500, right? Okay, that guy with that, let's buy a whole ETH. I'll buy ETH here. Then I'll continue my DCA. Like, we're before, like, okay, like right now, Ethereum's at a really interesting point right now. Ethereum is like $2,000. It keeps oscillating between 21 to like 1,900. That's the oscillation on Ethereum right now, right?
That's like 60 to 70K Bitcoin.
Right. So let's just say you're doing 1,000 a month. You might do 250 to 400 into Ethereum, if that's all you're going to buy Ethereum. But let's just say that was okay. The 600 is into USDC. Now I have 10,600 in stables, and I bought $400 of Ethereum at like $2,000. You keep that DCA going the whole time, but the difference is, as we go to 1,500, now the DCA goes 600, 400. And then once it goes below 1,500, you just fuck it, the whole thing into Ethereum. And then as the price hits new levels down, this is where you're like, all right, I've now built this up over months now. Instead of the 10,000 I had, I now have like 12,700, or I might have 13,000 something. You might like, wow, we just dropped to 1,500. It's close to 1,400. I'll buy 2 ETH right here. I'll just drop myself to 10,000 flat. And then let's just say it hits 1,400. All right. I'll try to buy 3 Ethereum or 2 Ethereum.
Like, how do I do this 3 times? Yeah. You can't do that with the board, unfortunately.
Then this is where we're like, when we hit that 1,400, this is where we make a snap decision.
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to go any lower now? Or like, that might actually be the bottom. But then if for some reason we do get that gift and it goes down to 1,000, this is where like, All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got $7,000 left. I might do the whole 7,000 or maybe like 6,000 and leave $1,000 left.
Yeah.
And just boom, just buy a grip of Ethereum. And then all the DCA is all Ethereum. Like, and obviously you can make that, you can spread that DCA how you want across like Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum. But like, I'm using Ethereum as an example because it's just it's such round, close numbers to $1,000. You know, it's very easy to do the math on it. And that's how you like bam, 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 bam. And we're gonna hold people's hands during this time. If it does happen early, if we do get that bottom early, we're gonna hold during this course. If it happens a little later, no matter what, we're gonna make sure and get you guys in the right position to buy that because we've done this multiple cycles now.
Yeah. Already. So what you're saying is at the bottom you make Ethereum your bitch.
Yeah. Something at East Denver like they don't know about,
7K, you say.
There's a shortage of tops in the world, they say. But, we're going to help you with that. And then we're going to go over more advanced topics during the Crash Out course. The Crash Out course is going to be much more advanced. We expect you to already kind of know your shit. And this is why if you're going to jump into it and it's your first course, we're making sure that you take the fucking course at the beginning so you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yep.
And we also, even the people who take multiple courses, we have to make sure that, like, hey, sharpen the fuck up, pay attention because like we're about to go into the more deeper waters in the Crash Out course.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't, right? So I do always appreciate everybody who gets into the course is actually paying attention because the one thing I guess that YouTube's like both gave me some optimism and then jaded me on a million other things at the same time.
Right.
But one of the things that it's kind of jaded me on a little bit is that everybody who does join the Moongang at some point in time has something clicking well in their mind.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Michael Saylor, there is no second best or whatever it is.
Right.
But they have that mentality of like value investor, buy, as much Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana as possible for, the foreseeable future, all that type of thing. And the information that we give is very, very good. There's a lot of it, but you can filter through it properly, especially with AI tools now and stuff like that. But we give all this sauce to how to have success long-term and then trading short-term, some swings and all that stuff. But the amount of people who actually utilize the amount of information that's within the Crypto Mindset course for free on YouTube, like basically every source that we put information through. Because like I said the other day, I give just the TA webinar in the course. I give you basically 4 years of homework. If you actually took each of the books that is recommended and like gone through it the way that I recommend it and all that stuff, you'd have 4 years of homework on your hands to actually get good at that. Right. And that would be one like very like challenging focus for somebody, right? What you give on the fundamentals, same thing. We give like the whole course is like anywhere between 4 to 6 years of data.
Yeah.
Each and every single course. And I think 80% of the people that take it, like what do you call it? Pareto principle, right? Should have, outsized success with it.
Right.
But the fact is, right, mostly about 20% of people actually do. And that 60% who don't, they take their eye off the ball at some point, and that's basically the deciding factor.
Right. And then right now, because like news is slower now, so you have more time to kind of focus in, kind of catch up, because right now this is the best time to learn because things are quieter. Even though things we have these periods of quietness where the price is only going, like the price is just like, like we may get a little bump up, but it's going to go down, right?
Right.
We have these quiet points, crash down a little action, and then it gets quiet again, and then eventually we have a lot of boring periods in 26, right? And you can lock in because what happens in 27 and 28 is the news goes 26, 7, 8, 9. The news gets like lightning.
And a lot of people talk like, oh yeah, I can withstand the volatility. Oh yeah, all this shit. And like, bro, as soon as they get on the roller coaster, they puke their guts up and say, oh, I never wanted to go on this thing. Why'd you make me get on this roller coaster, Miguel? Like
you're strapped in now.
It is always kind of an entertaining thing when somebody goes into a roller coaster.
I mean, we're in kind of a unique position because we've watched about we've helped 19,000 plus individuals through the courses and our products flame out. And other people fucking, champagne out.
Some people made like massive success for their family, like long-term generational wealth.
There is the lucky.
I would say most of the people that I've seen have success, outside success, has been consistent.
And I was getting to that, So there's always the lucky. We've had guys who just hit $1 million on a coin. or hit like hundreds of thousands and it's made their portfolio. We had a couple of guys that they bought like what's his name? There's a guy who I mentioned a coin. This is way back. It was 2020. I mentioned a coin about I was following one of the guys who created the RC20 token contracts. He made a project called Lusco.
Yeah,
a couple. I'm saying like 4 or 5 guys listened to the stream. They bought into the coin and they made like their entire fucking nut. Off of just that alone. We had guys that listened to like Anorak back in the day during the courses back in 21 when NFTs were things. We mentioned there's certain like Lesko as an example. Like I'm gonna say one of these guys. One guy like legit made like 1.6 million on it. And other guys made 400 grand. Other people
the
like
NBA Top Shots. One same story.
This cycle I had guys make millions on Pepe. Or hundreds of thousands on Pepe.
Oh yeah, Pepe's a good
one. Pepe was shoot.
Like you said the other stream though. Like I think this was this yesterday or the last time we were in the studio? I think it was the last time we were in the studio. Must have been. But anyways, you were saying like, to be honest, Pepe did that good, and we were in a market that didn't do that good for altcoins.
Right.
So what about when altcoins come back with a vengeance? Holy shit! Bro. I agree with that.
Show my bags, Charlie.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Oh, but I ain't missing the Pepe run, bro. I ain't missing the Pepe run. But I will be the first to tell you, I think it's money's not rotating into it.
Right.
But this is the importance because we're doing this research and we're watching.
I'd be shocked
these
if that's the case.
I think so too.
I also would have like if you would have told me in 2023, hey, Ethereum's not going above $5,000 a cycle. I'd be even way more shocked about that. Like,
I wouldn't have believed you.
No, like nobody in the market did.
So there wasn't a single person that said that. That's like credible.
Right.
Credible. You always have some crazies. But they're like, usually it comes from like, I fucking hate Ethereum. So it's like you can't. Yeah. But people made a lot of money on that. I had guys, even on Pepe, they're like, hey man, shit, dude, I threw in like, what was it, like $300 into Pepe and I came out with like 30 grand. Like, dude, thanks, G. Like, I got all the CMCs paid for, and I bought a bunch of Ethereum and Solana, and I still got a little pep, stuff like that, right? That's more of a common one, but I had, like every time, we had some people make some really, like we had guys we had one guy made $1 million off of you did a show with Anorak, and you guys
that's the one I was mentioning before.
Yeah.
That was the NBA Top Shots.
Obviously, you guys, you can't throw shots into everything. Of course, but sometimes you're like, you got to play a little bit. I'm sorry, now. I like it when you can play. That's why like the plays are really going to be for me. Like it's going to be 27. It's going to be 27 and 28. Year of the GOAT show. Also the year of Ethereum. Right. But if you do get those wins, you can make a ton. But largely the guys who success, like let's just say you don't have the luck, right? You're lucky from hard work from being here. That's your luck. Your luck is you're here now. You make your own luck, right? Sometimes you get the luck. The more times you play, the harder you work, the longer you stay, the more you pay attention, the more tickets you have to kind of cash in on luck. But your practices and your consistency is what's really going to win. And our guys who have done the most over time have just played the fucking keep it simple, stupid strategy. We outlined it in that first course there because we changed our strategy was very alt heavy in 21, which is the correct strategy to do. And we both like realized and we talked to each other, okay, we need to tone this down for the next cycle. So during the first mega course we ever did in Q4 of 2022, we're like, half of your fucking money in Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can choose all Bitcoin, all Ethereum. I don't care, but one of the two, then you can buy some L1s there.
Yeah.
So we were like 20% either trading or meme coins or just to generate new shit. 30% fucking L1s, 50% Bitcoin and Ethereum. The guys who listened to that shit won big. The guys who didn't, some won, some got lucky, but a lot of people just played around too much and just did it to themselves. We had guys, and there's tons of guys, because obviously I'm from the Pulse Chain community, the Hex community and stuff like that. We had guys like, hey, I'm all in Hex. Okay, I'm gonna help you as best you can.
Right.
But like, I told a lot of guys this, and they like, hey, I'm Hex Jesus, but even I diversified myself.
Yeah.
Heavily this cycle, which was the correct strategy because I don't want to ever like have my whole I don't want to waste a whole fucking cycle just hoping in dreams on this one coin or this one ecosystem. I want to make sure no matter what, because like what diversification, I'm all in on crypto. There's no diversification. I'm all in one sector.
Anybody who I've seen be successful by going all in on one project, they had some sort of angle with the team that was doing it.
Yeah,
where they had enough insider information and influence onto that group that they knew how the flywheel was being made, right?
Right.
Per se.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but I'm just good at cashing these hoes, bro. But I also like, how did I find out about Celsius so early? Like, I made a good money on Celsius. So there are a lot of students. How did I?
Because those guys that had all those wallets were being squeaky, and you were attuned enough to notice.
Also, I did my research and also luck. So during the time I was locked in, all right, I had heavy losses from 2017. I made money in 2017, didn't sell the top, bad losses. What did I do? Okay, I really believe in this Litecoin thing. I think the founder is coming back. Let me do my research. He's throwing the first ever convention where he's going to be at in San Francisco. There was like, the whole thing wasn't even sold out. I mean, literally, there may have been like 200-300 people there, tops. And you have to understand, Litecoin is massive at the time still. I go meet Litecoin miners. I learn about the whole, they're mining Dogecoin. I didn't know that. What the fuck? I start talking to people, making connections. And then I go to the second annual one. First time I ever go to Las Vegas. I think it was in 2019. Or no, it may have been 2018. I'm sorry. One of those years. It's a long time ago. Went to Las Vegas. The halving's coming up. Oh, the halving's coming. I start talking to this. Hey, look, there's Alice Mashinsky at a Litecoin conference. I sit down and I told you, I called Charlie like afterwards. Hey, bro, I just sat down here. This guy never showed the coin, but I was like, this is a really interesting app or whatever he's talking about. It was the best presentation of of any event that I went to during that bear market. So I went out of my own pocket. I didn't have that kind of money and shit at the time. Like I wanted a DCA, but fuck it. I think it was really important. I locked in on I did a very degenerate thing, but I risked it for the biscuit. I sold almost just about all my crypto for Litecoin at like $22 to about $30. And I rode the fucking, my plan was to make a multiple on my money there and sell it on the halving hype for Litecoin in 2019.
That was a good run.
That was a good run. Yeah, let's just say my average is 30. It went from $30 to 120. It went to 140. I sold it at 120. Sold 85% of my Litecoin.
Yeah. Well,
made back all my nut from fucking that year. Where did I put the money in? Into Ethereum. What else? And some decentralized.
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say.
I'm trying to remember it. Yeah. I bought a little. I think I bought like a Bitcoin, and then
which was the right move.
If. But I made some money. I mean, I did make some money on it, but like the money it could have been was crazier. But I mean, but then I turned into Hex, and that was a W, right? Yeah. Then I also was like, I found out about like Celsius, and then like Celsius, I managed to get it into 9 cents. This is a coin that ran to $8.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one, and a lot of guys got it in a quarter, 25 cents. Anyone that's following my streams or podcasts back in the day got into it in the 20-cent run there, and we made money.
We had Zach on. What was this? The guy who was like the biggest red flag for Celsius.
Oh yeah. That's
when we interviewed this guy named Zach, who, what do you call it? We'd asked him like, what was your background before basically helping Alex Bashinsky as like his,
it's kind of his
right hand, his like Smith a little bit.
It was kind of like his gopher, and then eventually he kind of graduated to like community leader,
right? But he was like kept getting promoted within the company. Like not for no reason, right?
The company's growing fast, so that's what happens.
Yeah. But then they're like, "What's your background?" He was like, "I was fishing in Alaska," and like,
"Oh, that was him." Yeah.
I was just like, as a recruiter, I'm like, this guy is like the most unqualified person for the position I've ever seen in my life.
But like, it's crypto, and the shit like this happens, and then he was working hard, and he wasn't like lazy about it. So like, I mean, I was like, "Hey, give him his flowers."
We don't necessarily need to go into the details, but there was one time where he had a blow up. That's all I'll say. That as soon as we started talking about that in the background, we both looked at each other. We're just like,
something's up.
It might be close to time because basically over exuberance to the point of I can never do no wrong.
Right.
That's where it's like,
there was also one other. There's also some other one. I won't say who. But there was a top level employee, sort of like influencer sort of thing there. We talked to him in the background a little bit, and he. After I'm not sure if it was a stream or I went on his show or something like that. He was in the background, and then he started he told us about a story about him treating his parents. His parents called him, and he's like, "Mom, Dad, you can't tell me what to do anymore. I make all the fucking money now.
Right?
I'm the fucking hotshot. So shut the fuck up." And I was like, and I think you were there, Charlie. Yeah, we're like, what the fuck? He's like, "I'm the big man now. So you don't tell me what to do anymore, man. I'm fucking grown now." I was like, God. And then that's when me and Charlie were like, all right, some shit's going. And then we're like, this is what we're saying. We're seeing smoke. We're seeing smoke, and then this is what
coming out his ears.
Yeah. So this is why we started in Q4 of 21. Let's get out. We and then what we did too is we told people to get out around $5. I personally didn't sell my coins until I waited till all right, everyone sell on me. I said, everyone sell your coins as soon as you guys are like, I'm gonna give you guys a fucking couple days. Go and sell your coins. I'll sell afterwards. I sold at like 450. And then I said, get all your assets off of there. And I even used the incentive. Hey, there's a snapshot for Pulse Chain that's going to happen. You want to have all your coins off of DEXs right now. Anyway, yield farming right now is dangerous anyway. Don't do it anymore to get off all your coins off. And we fucking said this for like from October till like the middle of 22, telling people get your money off of exchanges. I mean, a year of telling people like, hey, get everything. It wasn't just that. Get it off of Kraken. Get it off of Coinbase. Get it off of Celsius.
Luna Classic yield.
Like, get out. Yeah. Get out. And you still had motherfuckers not do it.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Because the people who don't at those times, usually they get some sort of identity from it.
Yeah.
So like they go into the community and they're like, that somebody in here, like in here, I'm important. I have my role. Like I don't even know what it is necessarily. It's like
I have status. It's like this status in the community.
And it's not even just that. It's just like group thought type things, right? So it's basically like cult type vibes,
right?
So like
there's that, and then there's the other thing. Now there's other guys that we knew, right? Were like, Miguel, I like the income coming out from it right now, and I'm kind of they're massive. Like, I was having consultations with people, and I had to like throw cold water on people. This is in like late 21 and 22. Miguel, make me liquid, Jamie.
Yeah,
make me liquid, Miguel. Like, tell me where to put money yield to yield farm. And I was like, well, there's degen yield farming. You can put this much out, but like you can't put the whole stack there. That's ridiculous. You can't do it. It's too risky. And I was telling people, look. Get it out of here. It's like the big one was like, oh my god, they love the yield on Polkadot because like there was ton. So I think Polkadot at the time you could get 5% if you
Luna Classic was worse. What was it, 20%?
Yeah, 20% for stables.
Yeah,
not for the coin, but for like the stable. The stable.
Yeah.
But like, oh my god, so many people. I mean, you know what? That 20% yield fucked all the guys who thought they were smart. Got sadly to say, a lot of Asian guys. Just mostly because the coin was kind of Asian-y, but like. All the professor guys, all the guys who like I have 4th grade math. I have a calculator. I can figure this out. And like they're like, damn, I have a lot. Like,
basically, if this stays good forever, I'm so rich. And it's like nothing that good ever lasts that long.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happened is like I told people like Miguel, like so at the time, okay, you can get 5 or 4% staking Polkadot, but there's like Celsius or BlockFi, they're paying 12%. A month or 12% a year on it, which is like, and it paid, some of them pay it every week, some pay it every monthly or whatever, but they pay it or some daily. Dude, the yields look really good, bro. I got a good amount of money in here, bro. I'm actually earning enough where like I'm paying my rent.
How much was Nexo paying at the time?
They sometimes would pay higher, but like even that, so many people were sketched out by that one.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like because
around the time
of those three, right? The two paying that 12% there were the ones that went under. Nexo, which was like the C level one, it was like. Celsius was A, and you could argue which one, right? With the second
probably
one
BlockFi. They were the same almost.
They're kind of back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And then you had Nexo, and everybody was shitting on Nexo. Nexo's the only one still here. I was like, interesting.
If you asked me and Charlie what would be around, like I'd be like, oh, Nexo's out of here, bro.
Yeah, that would have been the first one.
Like they're so illegal, they turned legal. Like they were so like you were taking so many left turns that they ended up going right.
Right, correct.
Yeah, but they're also out of jurisdictions as well. They were like they were like playing out there in like not northern Europe. What's called closer to Russia, right?
Eastern Europe,
Eastern Europe and stuff. But like people were addicted to that. People just want to like I just put my money here and like I earn more Polkadot I'm just using Polkadot as an example, but like. Dude, I'm earning like, I remember talking to guys, it's like, dude, I'm making like 5,000 a month on this yield right now. Dude, it's paying my whole net, bro. I can just do anything. It's because they wanted I wanted to fuck up to a different, like around the time in 21, right? Puerto Rico, fucking going off here, Dubai, see how that's leading you guys. Like 80%, 90% of the fucking Puerto Rico guys and the guys who went to Dubai are like fucking broke now.
Yep.
Or like they're living there, but like, they're like, it's like, this is why a lot of those Dubai guys and the Puerto Rico guys went to crime or like launching a stupid amount of coins. I'm not saying you can launch a coin if it doesn't work out. Like I tried, but they're on their fucking 14 secret projects.
Some of the Dubai ones, like the vibe that you get from them is kind of like that Tinder swindler guy. Like that's the vibe I get from some of those
sneaky
projects.
fucker game.
Mm-hmm.
The sneaky fucker game. Yeah,
exactly.
But these stories are fun, and all this and more in the crypto mindset course. But
we get the stories. That we're kind of outlining now with non-specifics. Oh, we can give all the dirt in the CMC. That's the fun part.
And here's the stupid thing: like the BlockFi one, they try to do everything above board. They were just bad at running their business because, like, basically they just like it looks like to me they had really bad DeFi guys running their yield and stuff in the background, and there's
Anthony
stealing
Pompliano,
too.
who's a Bitcoin maxi, right? Was one of the guys running it. So, but, I mean, he's smart enough for some things, but yeah, he didn't quite land that way.
I don't think I've said this in 4 years. I haven't said this in 4 years. This is how long I have not mentioned this in 4 years. The big tip off for me is like I was like looking at wallets a little bit, and I saw that they were yield farming on Badger DAO, and I was like, Badger. I remember like I'm not sitting next to Charlie, but I was like, sometimes when you're talking to somebody over the internet, like sometimes it's like I visualize us sitting in the same room, and I was like, Badger DAO. That's dog shit. What the fuck are you doing over there? And it was like a substantial amount of money, and I was like,
maybe
because I was in the trenches when it came to yield farming. I was as deep as you could get in that shit. But like I also did it with like I try to have safety parameters to keep myself from getting rugged. And like I've never got rugged outside of like the only thing I think I got rugged on was like I got rugged on like not tomb shares, but like the derivative of the derivative. That's how far I was going. I was like, hey, if let's run it once, run it again. Like it was like 2 shares, 3 shares, and then there was like I think on 3 shares I lost or 2. Kyle was doing it too. Yeah. And then we're
got kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Learned my lesson.
But we were making some money, like
the what do you call it? Musical chairs, basically.
Yeah, but we were like eyes wide open. We're like, it's musical chairs. We were totally like, oh, we know what's up. It's fucking.
Oh no, we were talking about it at the time. Yeah,
but like we made a bunch of money on Jewel, right? We knew that like Jewel, like, and I gave everyone the last play of the CMC in 2022 that like before we're like it's over, bull market's over, was like because it was solid X,
right?
Then it was Crystal with Jewel. What did I tell everybody? This shit is going to do this.
Yeah, and it's gonna
dump it.
Yeah,
yield farm it for a day. As soon as the price starts going like cock out like this, sell it. It went to like $130, and I was like, dump it. And then a majority of people did and made profit, thank God. But some people were like, no, I'm gonna keep.
Well, then Crystal was like, what do you call it? Just Ponzi 2.0.
Yeah. But like that's a part of the game.
And
it's a part of the game.
Meme coins, what they get 1 or 2 runs, and then
that's why it's rare. Like, oh, this one's got legs. Wow.
Right.
And also you have to see where you are in the cycle, where to like you have to see
exit
where
liquidity portion of the
cycle,
and
because like some coins can come back up.
Well, we'll also be talking about that in the course. There are some coins that all they do is like they run in the first half of the cycle, and then the second half, right, they don't do shit. So like,
or they hit that like the billion, 2 billion, and like they can't go.
And then they just oscillate.
Caspa was a huge one. That's why I was like, that's why I was kind of hating on Caspa, because I was like, bro, it's like I was seeing the pattern too many times. They're not letting it, because like a lot, there was actually like it was like kind of it looks like there was no VC backing. It was just kind of launched organically, but like so many guys got so much supply that it was just such a cash cow for them.
Right.
And then like they were just cashing out so much and partying that they didn't build out I was like, because one of the big tell signs is like, is there an ecosystem? There's fucking nothing on this thing. And I remember I would get some haters on my show back, because like I would get like a bunch of comics back in the day, and I was like, why are you hating on Caspa, Miguel? I was like, if it drops low enough, I might take a shot at it. It just didn't. It was oscillating, and I was like, oh, they're just
ran way too much.
Yeah, they're just like paying off their lifestyle now with this. Yeah. We can keep going. There's more like that. Million stories and more, man. You get this in the CMC, this experience, and like making sure that you hit like a middle road here. Like, a Gigabrain plays and retard plays, but to make sure that you hit like these common, like you don't hit these pitfalls, and you're able to like get like the for sure money that's in the market and like ascend and keep making your money and stuff. Because like we've said this, it takes 2 to 3 cycles to really make it. Guess you can get lucky in 1 cycle, and if we do, fuck yeah, I want that for you guys. But people make that kind of money and then also fumble it too. So like it's just making sure, and stuff like that. And like we're gonna have a little announcement a little later in the show. But like
I think we have enough webinars in the course that it's like most people should not fumble it.
Yeah.
But again, like I said before, kind of like majority of people should, but the majority of people don't. And so it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's the 20% of the people that actually really go for it. So it's just like, yeah, at some point you have to be like, okay, I'm all in or I'm not, right? Like one or the other, you got to really go hard.
Now I'm gonna make an example. Now pull up my screen, Kyle. So this is the roll up right here, right? It's like an Ethereum. They're like I would say a bankless competitor a little bit. Not competitive, they're friendly and stuff, but the roll up, right? They're here talking about Ethereum, right? Why it's important and everything like that. And you have to listen to this. When the market's bad, this stuff you can take it with a little bit less grain of salt,
right?
I would say by the Q4 of 27, just almost disregard it all. Listen to it here and there. Take a couple of nuggets, but you can't make your whole thesis based off like what these. There's more reality. Basically, you're more grounded in reality for hopium in the bear market than you are in the bull. As soon as you're like in 28, to be skeptical on everything.
I mean, yeah. Then I'll throw you the Tom Lee link later too, because that goes perfectly with this.
But listen to this right now. This is now. If you want to play a drinking game, take a shot for every time they say quantum. I think you'll die. But like this is like they're hitting you over the head like quantum. They are working on quantum. They're ahead of Bitcoin on it, but Bitcoin's not working on it too now. This is very important that this is happening. But there's some decent news here. So let's listen.
Bitmine has came out with Maven. They are planning to be the world's largest single entity staking operation and pushing for a future of post-quantum Ethereum staking. This is massive. Tom Lee acquired Peer2, which is one of the world's largest Ethereum staking businesses with about $6 billion of staked ETH. And they are now going to be building out a massive Ethereum treasury. Here's my take. Tom Lee recognizes that Ethereum needs to go to the post-quantum world. Tom Lee realizes that he is one of the largest stewards of the Ethereum protocol. And so it is in his best interest to push forward the post-quantum efforts as described by Justin Drake forward for the Ethereum protocol. This is not a charity business. This is not a little handout. This is Tom Lee putting his foot down and saying, we're going to be one of the largest Ethereum operating companies in the world, and we're going to push to make sure that this asset is post-quantum secure. And I think that is one of the most important things that Ethereum has over Bitcoin right now. And this is a massive win for Bitmine and all Bitminer shareholders.
As of 5 p.m. on March 24th, that was yesterday, Bitmine total stake ETH stands at 3,142,643 ETH. That's almost $7 billion of ETH that is currently being staked. Bitmine has staked more ETH than any other entity in the world, which is absolutely incredible. It's really no surprise that they're going to be verticalizing their stack.
And now after this, they will get more. They have an additional 6 billion of ETH joining their operation, guys. Ethereum company in the world. He's doing it with Bitmine, and he's doing it with this acquisition of Peer2, now known as Maven. Congrats to Ash, congrats to Pat, and the entire Peer2 team.
So let's go back a little bit. Yeah, so basically, they've staked already about I think they said it here about 3 million Ethereum has been staked. They're going to stake more of it eventually. Their end goal with Ethereum is they want to stake. They're eventually going to stake all 6 million Ethereum. That's just 5% of the supply. I did the math the other day. They're going to be making about $250,000 a day on that, and at about a fourth, about $500,000 a day in yield, at like a $4,800 Ethereum price. If we get like a 6 or basically they could get to a point where they're making about $1 million a day in yield. Oh, I'm sorry, a little bit more. I did that wrong. They're going to be making about $1.5 billion a year in yield in Ethereum, which equates to about roughly they're going to be earning about roughly, if the yield stays consistent around 2.5 to maybe 3.5% in the yield in terms of Ethereum. They're making 180,000 Ethereum a year in yield off of 6 million Ethereum.
Not too bad.
now, and they've already shown that what they're gonna do with the capital is they're gonna become one of the largest, basically, I think, Ethereum venture funds. So it's like by holding their stock, you're holding not only they're holding the income off of the appreciating asset of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, and that Ethereum staked, which keeps growing. But on top of that, all the Ethereum venture companies in what's inside of the ecosystem. So they might decide, hey, we're gonna save up, like maybe they might like save every year 100,000 Ethereum in liquid form, and then use that to buy into maybe MetaMask ownership, or maybe into like other networks, or like it'd be the sort. That's why the BM. This is something that we're going to be talking about in the crypto mindset course. We haven't given it a specific webinar yet, but we because the webinar list is always evolving.
Yeah,
but we are going to have an equities side of it, crypto equities side of it, and this is kind of the importance of it and stuff like that. So if you wanted to see all the math, I broke down all the math on my last stream.
Yeah,
I did, but I did break down all the math on it. But yeah, it's 180,000 Ethereum a year in yield.
Yeah, and we'll also break down what do you call it, the MNAV with this, just with the assets under management with them, and like what that means for the price of their stock and all that type of stuff. Because yeah, you can kind of do like a grayscale play with BitMine.
Right.
Not quite as good as what Kathy Woods did there at the end of the last bear market, but yeah, you could probably get something pretty decent with that.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in the course.
Yeah, but you can take it down, Kyle. And then
or do you want me to send you the Tom Lee one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If you want.
Or I could just put it up actually.
Whichever. Just post it in the private or the DM it to me. I'll put.
Yeah,
fuck!
Share my screen.
You guys want to see something funny, bro? They caught our boy Cash Patel on 4K, dog. Bro, so they hacked one of his accounts or something, and then like they got this dude. Oh my god, bro!
There's no way.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's just like he's drunk having fun and shit, and like this before.
I don't think I twirl and do pirouettes when I'm drunk, bruh.
Oh,
maybe I do accidentally, but not on purpose.
I've done some. I don't know. I don't think I've done some goofy dances, but I'm not shaking my ass. Nah, bro. Not all that touching my nipples and shit. Oh,
this is coming out of the closet a little bit,
bro. But like,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, no hate. I mean, if that's who he is, it's who he is, I guess. But
yeah, but they hacked his phone and they didn't find anything bad, but they just more like embarrassing stuff. But like, they got him in like pictures like this, smoking a cigar from back in the day. You know, him with his kids. And like they released a bunch
of crazy eyes.
Yeah, but this kind of fucked up is like they put his children's pictures out there and stuff with him. That's it's like plus. There's going to be some retribution for this.
When you're part of the government, though, that's part of the game a little bit.
Too. Yeah, give Shakira his money, but you can take it down, Kyle. But
I'll share a screen and then what do you call it? You go over to Tom Lee on this one. But yes, speaking of ridiculous predictions.
Make me liquid, Jamie.
Dude, as soon as me and Miguel saw this on our timeline, our Twitter feed or whatever, we were just like, bruh.
There's no way we're not going to talk about this.
This is hilarious. But Tom Lee predicting 62K ETH, right? Which, long course of time, maybe, but let's listen. Let's listen.
Okay, so let me explain to you why Ethereum, now that we've talked about crypto, Ethereum is the future of finance. And what I mean by that is Ethereum in this year, it's having its 1971 moment. But what I'm saying is that in 1971, the dollar went off the gold standard. And in 1971, it galvanized Wall Street to create financial products to make sure the dollar would be the reserve currency. Well, in 2025, we're tokenizing everything. So it's not just the dollar that's getting tokenized, but it's stocks, bonds, real estate. And Wall Street is again going to take advantage of that and create products onto a smart contract platform. And
besides the metaphor, right? That's all debatable. But besides the metaphor, I mean, he's not totally wrong here. Ethereum is getting better fundamentally.
Right.
So, but like what? It's just five truths and a lie kind of thing, right?
Right.
We'll listen to him continue.
I will say this though, I did the math on it right now. If Ethereum was to hit $62,000, oh my God, please God! But like it would put in just the 6 million Ethereum that they would own, they would be worth about $372 billion.
Hey, not too shabby.
So I would imagine that if the company still owned it, plus whatever they have, the company Bitmine would probably be worth like $500 billion, 600 trillion, depending on like the multiples and all that shit. But
Elon's gonna be far ahead.
Oh no, well, yeah, obviously there'll be multiple. Like this should be a come up story, but it won't be like there'll be like $5 trillion companies.
Oh yeah,
then, it'd be massive companies.
And this is true. These companies are building on Ethereum, legitimately.
And where they're building this is on Ethereum. And today, if you look at the share of real world assets, and the prior panel talked about that, the majority of this, the vast majority, is being built on Ethereum. Even he has said Ethereum has won the smart contract war. As you know, Ethereum has been range bound for 5 years, as
I like the question marks.
Yeah. Now I want to ask your opinion on this. Like, okay, everything he's saying here is true, except the sticker shock, right? Is the sticker, but like, what price? What would he have said here where you would have been like, yeah, because 62K, you're like, what the fuck? Right?
Yeah, no, 62K, you're just like, what are you talking about? 2040? Like, 2045?
But let's
50?
Right. But like, because obviously he's been throwing like fucking haymakers this entire fucking time. Like, God, but 62 is the new one, bro. Like, oh,
I know, bro. Like, he's just trying to get people to think towards that direction, really. But I mean, okay, what price would I say is going to next year? I mean, this ride from 90 to 5,000 was nice.
Yeah.
Right. But it wasn't exactly like that because you had the other 90 before.
It is the year of the goat, Charlie.
Could
you fucking imagine, bro? Could you, even if it only did a 20x?
Yeah, I mean, I think something that's realistic, if it went crazy, right, is somewhere between 12 to 16K. That's like insanity, right? If it were to get to 7 to 8K, I would say it should. It absolutely should. So, let's say 8K to 12K, somewhere within there, I think you could say that and reasonably have an argument as to why it should get there.
Right.
Like
it's crazy, but not that crazy.
It's realistic.
It's real, and you're giving yourself timeline at least 20. It's 27. They're done buying, and then things are turned around. Money, like the interest rates will come down a little bit. There's maybe some money printing. The economy maybe isn't as fucked anymore. Okay,
I don't. Yeah,
12K is still a lot. You're right.
It's a lot, but it's not insane because I mean, that's a 2.5x off the previous top. I mean, Bitcoin going from 69 to 126. I mean, that's almost that, and that's Bitcoin. Being
and some asshole that's listening to the stream right now is going to be like, Miguel and Charlie yesterday on the stream said Ethereum's going to 12K in 27. Believe these fucking assholes? Oh my god! But like, they're not hearing all the context.
Well, no, they are, and they're just ignoring it.
They're just ignoring it because they're dick small.
Yeah, exactly right. But let's listen to Tom Lee here and see why he talks about 62,000.
Here. But it's begun to break out. And that's one of the reasons why myself and Mosaics, Shen from Mosaics is here, we got very involved with Ethereum by turning Bitmine into an Ethereum treasury company because we saw this breakout coming. Now, this might actually be more important.
And okay, they see the breakout coming. I think that's true.
That's true.
But he's always like, my quant. But this part, that's very debatable, right?
Yeah.
Saying this is where it starts to get crazy.
Oh, they're doing Ethereum to Bitcoin.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, at least want talk your shit though. I like it. I like it though.
I like it. But this is where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
This is where it gets crazy because I'm like, okay, sure. Can Ethereum go on a new all-time high against Bitcoin? Yes, on the Bitcoin to Ethereum chart, right? But will it be something massively higher than where it was before? Probably not.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, let's listen.
Because Bitcoin and Ethereum are really the two most important crypto L1s or blockchains out there. But if 2025 is about tokenization, that means Ethereum's utility value should be rising. Therefore, you should watch this ratio. Well, I think Bitcoin's going to get to 250,000 within a few months. And
wait. Go back a little. Go back. What? I mean, wait, what? The fuck did I hear? Well, hold up.
Rising. Therefore, you should watch this ratio. Well, I think Bitcoin's going to get to 250,000 within a few months.
And this was Dubai 2025 December. right? he's doing the Raul Paul skit. That's what he's doing right there. Give him enough hope until you got to turn him around in the bear market, right?
Yeah. If he said this, like, it should hit this before by the end of the next cycle.
Correct.
Then you're like, okay,
correct.
All right, we give him some. We're giving some rope. He's like, but like
tomorrow.
What the fuck, bro? I've heard some fucking doozies in my day. God damn, bro. Like,
I mean, you gotta give it to him. Tom Lee can sell anything with a straight face, even though he's like lying through his teeth.
Bro, if me and you were in the front of this shit, just like
just laughing,
bro, you know how big of a meme that would have been?
They throw us out,
bro. They throw us out. Just like he's like, you'll hit 250,000 in the next month, and you just hear two motherfuckers in the back dying laughing, bro.
They just shoot us in the necks with poisonous dart guns. We're like, fuck.
It pans to us on the floor. Like,
we got to hear the rest of this, though.
And if Ethereum price ratio to Bitcoin gets back to its 8-year average, that's $12,000 for Ethereum.
Okay,
all right.
Not too far off your top.
All right. And this is why we look. There is some logic to the madness here. The thing is, like, okay.
Well, he basically takes everything that's possible with it in a certain period of time, and he makes the prices more ridiculous, and he makes the timeline more ridiculous, right? But like I said before, it's like 60% correct and then 40%. What the frick is going on?
But I think Ethereum is going to become the future of finance, the payment rails of the future. And if it gets to 0.25 relative to Bitcoin, that's 62,000. So I think Ethereum at 3,000, of course, is grossly undervalued.
And again, under 3,000, it is grossly undervalued, but by that much, no, right? And the reason why they're putting this narrative out like this is because they want people to think Ethereum could do a similar amount of access to some crazy altcoin that they might rather put their money in, right? So if they're like, oh, well, Tau could give me a 10, 20x, whereas Ethereum is only going to give me like a, what, depending on what price we're talking about. If we're talking about $3,000 Ethereum, right, it's only going to give me a 4 or 5x. That's still good, but I could get more, right, with something else. Other AI tokens, Fetch, maybe. A lot of other choices, right, in the market. So it's just being competitive with the altcoins, is one thing that I think that is one of the reasons why they need to over exaggerate this essentially. So, yeah, you got to be very, like, there are people who give you good information, and so, you got to be able to take the nuggets that they do give, but you have to be able to understand, what is the ridiculousness and why, and then what is the logic and why does that actually hold up? So I would say, what do you call it? In the course, like, we'll really break down like these types of things, because it's the same with what I said about Willy Woo, right? If you do look at his price models here, I mean, all that he's looking at is the CVDD, Coindays destroyed and stuff. And then he's looking at realized price. And I would say that's probably legit. Right now, those prices are 46K to 52K.
Right.
But that's a dynamic thing, right? It's not going to stay at those prices. It could curl down here a little bit and then find a low. I would say something that I see as more as better is the realized price and balanced price sandwich. So realized price right now is 54,000. It was as high as 56. Last cycle it came down from 24 down to 19, right? So about a 20% drop. And here it went from 56, 20% drop would be maybe 46. So below 46 or 45K Bitcoin, if you're looking at this as kind of a dynamic move that'll probably trend down, then below 45K Bitcoin, you're essentially starting to get it really cheap. Okay. And then you go to the balance price, and that's usually, like, before it would pierce it, but now it's kind of hitting that as a floor. So we might not even hit balance price, but if we get close to it and we're below realized price, then that's a good area. Last cycle, we went down from 20,000 to 16,000 on that. So kind of 25% drop ish. Here it was at 42,000. That'd be 32,000. So that would tell you essentially $32,000 to $46,000 on Bitcoin is probably a good guesstimate right now, where the 4-year cycle low is going to happen in October if everything stays similar to previous cycles. So then you start getting, then you just watch that over time. But yeah, then, these kind of guys, I think they give you that good information for a while, and then boom, they kind of screw you over at the end, or, they don't give you the sauce when it's most necessary. But, you know who else is on our team, Miguel? God.
That's right, sir.
God is in on Bitcoin. So this is a legitimate news article from NBC. So if you do not get into the crypto mindset course, you are a heathen. What?
Oh, no, good.
Okay. But
heathens,
absolute degens, right? But here, God and Bitcoin, why some Christians are going all in on cryptocurrency, from churches allowing congregants to tithe with digital coins to blogs promoting Bitcoin as biblically sound. There's an emerging crypto subculture.
So
very interesting.
Is it possible?
Jesus said Bitcoin was good, and therefore it was.
Right.
Or something like that.
Like, what are those people that live in, like, they still wear horse buggies? What are those people called? The Amish?
Right.
Can you imagine the Amish start buying Bitcoin? Could you?
Holy shit,
dude! The Amish, bro. The Amish are in the game, dog.
That's how you know you're fucking behind the 8 ball if you don't get in before the Amish.
I mean, bro, that's.
The Amish got secret banks they're not telling people about right now. They're like, bros, we've been in this since fucking 2014.
Yeah. Like, how are the Amish buying it? Well, they seem to be buying all their supply through Bitcoin ATMs, computers. Because there's like of course, with the Amish, there's like very conservative, right? Like they no tech at all, and there's like Amish where like still Amish, but like they have a computer,
a light bulb here and there.
They're a computer and stuff. I'd probably be on this side, but like I got the buggy sitting on 14s, But
Jebediah took my seed phrase. God,
the Amish in New York are definitely buying. That'd be so crazy. You go to a Bitcoin conference, it's half Amish. You're like, whoa, dude. Okay.
Yeah, but I just think this is interesting. I think it was last cycle or somewhere in 21. I think.
Yeah,
they were debating like, is what do you call it? Bitcoin halal or not?
Oh yeah.
Halal or haram?
Haram, yeah.
And they're like, well, basically Bitcoin's halal unless you yield on it.
Yeah.
Right. So once you start doing that or taking loans on it, then it's haram.
We actually had quite a few Muslim people, guys and stuff that joined the course in 21 that were like asking, like, because yield farming was a huge part of it, basically because it's actively yield farming, they couldn't do it. But unless the coin just naturally generated yield off of its already, it's basically like you're not earning it off of like an individual as like you're not shystering them with yield, basically, right? But like Hex was halal. I think Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum were both good because this wasn't a conversation for Ethereum at the time because Ethereum basically hadn't done the 2.0 conversion yet, right? But Ethereum, as it is, it's okay because it generates a yield from its own inflation itself, so it's fine basically. But if you are generating the yield off of other people, you're essentially lending it out to people.
You throw it in a pool,
then it's bad.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole deal with it. And some people are very serious about it. They're like,
well, to be honest, it's not like they're not bad guidelines.
No, it's
like it actually keep you safe.
Yeah, they don't want to they don't want to rip people off or whatever, which I understand.
Yeah, they don't want to shave down the coins, right?
Right. Ridges, Charlie, ridges.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so if you want to get in on the side of God, well, I think it's time to get in the crypto mindset course. What is included, Miguel, in the crypto mindset course?
Besides salvation from the devil,
do you want me to pull up the schedule? Or
you pull it. You pull it up on your side because But all this and more. I mean, it is nonstop. So starting in April. So I guess we haven't even announced that yet. So on Tuesday, Should we release the time as well for the stream as well?
Well, yeah, we know we go on FNF time, so we can give the most likely start time.
The most likely, the most likely start time. Yeah, we're most likely to start it around noon, basically noon, and
so noon on Tuesday. Cultivate Crypto.
It's gonna be on Charlie's channel.
Yep, we're gonna do 8 hours minimum.
Minimum. We might go longer. We'll see.
Maybe up to 12.
It is our last stream on both our channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to absolutely rug you guys.
And that's it. And then you have
Don't say we didn't give you no warnings. Right. That's for sure.
And you have until April 2nd to get in at midnight Pacific Standard Time, and it closes. That's it.
Yep.
Because classes start on the
4th. So, yeah, if you want to share a screen there, Kyle, we have the schedule here for the Crypto Mindset course for Q2 2026 mega course. So, starting on April 4th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, we're going to do the Q2 thesis webinar for everybody who is in the Crypto Mindset course. So we're going to talk about multiple scenarios of how Q2 could play out. What is the most probable? What is the least probable? And then as the quarter goes through, we're going to adjust those probabilities. It's kind of like sports betting. You got the, what do you call it? You got the over under, you got the parlays, you got all the different scenarios, right? It just depends on which point in the game you're betting to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guaranteed money lines.
Right. Stuff like that. But then immediately we throw a little water on it because we're in a bear market, and we go right into the risk management and security webinar to make sure that you do not lose your ass. And then we go right back to degeneracy for the top 50 coin list. So don't say we didn't warn you by the time we get to the top 50 coin list. Right.
But this top 50 coin list is really important because we're going to tell you which coins are not, it doesn't look like they're viable. There's actually quite a few that are just, we think they're just, that's it. They're cooked. Other ones were like, they're going to come back. You have time. Other ones, you're going to have to buy very close to when you buy Ethereum and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, Ethereum first, and then you have to jump right over to those. Yeah. Because their lows could be a few days to a week or two after Bitcoin Ethereum bottom.
Correct.
And then other ones you pretty much have the rest of 26 or 27 to get into. No rush really.
Yep.
And allocation of capital and stuff like that. And then we go into the best swing trades of quarter 2.
Yeah. So I think we're going to be getting some really good setups in the month of April. Some of them may be in the first half of April. Some of them may not be in the right place until the second half of the month. But sometime within April, we're going to be plunking down some chips on some different trades. And we're going to be doing so with risk management in mind, right? So it's like, hey, if you have this portfolio, how many trades can you make? If you have this type of portfolio, how big of a position can you go or on each coin, right? Like how are you going to play this, right? We're going to go over kind of what's the difference of playing the game when you're, playing with 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures.
Yeah.
There's some difference, but I would say when you go into the earlier stages, like we're going to also talk about how to make 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 to 7. But I would say when you go down to the lower figures, when you're starting out in crypto, you're still trying to make it, those strategies tend to just be simpler, right? And then the more money you make, the more generate and the more complex you can make it. But obviously at the same time, you still want to keep it simple, stupid parameters in line, but you can't go like super hard all in on one thing, right? So
watch me, Charlie. Watch me.
Whereas if it's a lower amount, it's much easier to make back. So yeah, you can do that a little bit more. But we're talking about those things as well as dynamic portfolio strategies in the bear market, right? Like you were saying, you have your ladder in strategy, you have your dollar cost average strategy, and then you have your dynamic of both of those strategy. And then you also have your portfolio rotation strategy.
Correct.
Right. Between different coins at different periods and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about all that type of sauce. Then we got the bear market analysis for technical analysis, on-chain data analysis, and fundamental analysis. So the core of what you need to understand where crypto is going. We're going to talk about how to suss that out in a bear market, which we haven't done that angle before.
Right.
And then we get into the nice Q&A, baby.
And one little thing before we continue on, like this is actually really important right here. Obviously, this guy's taken the course many times, but like skip risk management, look for the safest 100x during the 50. We are going to bash you guys over the head to go back to the risk we're going to mention that risk management webinar and the security. Don't forget the security part of it.
Yeah, that's
very,
huge.
very important. CIA approved, apparently. But very, very important, because to have to have more or less an idea of how you're going to like build up the portfolio in terms of your money in and like how you want your portfolio. Like you want about half your money in Bitcoin or Ethereum, you guys. If now some people say I'm going 80. That's cool. No problem. But just to have that, but the other part, you work so hard to build up this bag only for you to lose it to like a dumb human error or a connection issue.
Right.
Or we're going to show you ways to keep it as safe as possible. If there is a hack, they only get you on this one front. You may like, fuck, I lost 15% of my bag. It's not all gone.
Just because you didn't want to wrap it up.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I was like, he who hesitates masturbates, you guys. But he who doesn't wrap it up is going to get all caught up.
Oh
shit, man.
Don't mess with that.
Baby mama drama ain't for everybody, you guys.
So yeah, and then we'll go into the Q&A of all that. No. So yeah, basically, and we got tax information for you guys, just because it is tax season. We will go into the AI webinars for income and for crypto, as we've mentioned in previous streams. We're going to talk about where Pulse Chain's at, as well as base L2. And then, we have building in a bear market for success. We're going to talk about what you need to do to build within this year to have that long-term generational wealth opportunity. But then also at the same time, what coins will stay in this market, which ones will die, which ones will succeed, what you kind of need to know to see the difference between both. We're also going to be talking about, like Miguel said, traditional stocks, equities related to crypto within various parts of these. We're also going to have flash webinars where we have guests, including the co-founder of Aerodrome and the CEO of Dromos Labs, Alex Cutler, who I do recommend tomorrow morning. Check out Aerodrome's crypto Twitter. Right, go on their X account, Aerodrome. Also Alex Cutler, right? The Wog Me Alex on there. Go and see what he's talking about at Ethereum's conference in Cannes, France, because some of that information is going to come out tomorrow morning. I believe that's at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be 9:45 a.m. or no, sorry, 8:45 a.m. Pacific, something like that. So definitely take a look out for that. We're going to be talking to him in the webinars. We'll have him live in studio here, only for you guys, not on YouTube. And we're going to really get a lot of sauce there with Aerodrome going into its its L1 migration in Q2. So lots of good stuff in there. I don't know. I probably forgot something in there, including, the pre-recorded webinars and stuff like that. But anything else that you want to mention?
Yeah, we're also going to have some pre-record, some brand new AI webinars that we're having made right now. That are going to be emailed to people once they're available. There's people in the chats asking that have currently bought the course already. You will be getting them.
Not to the webinars.
Not to the webinars, but you will be receiving them and stuff like that. We like to give those out during like days off.
The funniest thing when the course starts, we get into the Q2 thesis, and people are like, "What's the best liquidity pool to go into?" And it's like, bro, we talk about liquidity pools later. Trust, we'll talk about them during the course. But it's like everybody,
you got to get the basics down.
And everybody wants like all material matrixed into their brain in the first webinar, and they don't want to watch any of the other webinars. They're like, tell me everything that's going to happen in this first webinar so I don't have to watch the other 16. And it's like, I don't think that's how this works, bro. Right.
Miguel and Charlie, tell me why you failed me, man. I like everything went wrong for me. Well, you did everything wrong and out of order.
Right. So follow the structure. Keep it simple, stupid. And we'll get you guys through this. But we're going to also have the crash out course post these webinars. So after 4:20.
Oh, just for people, because people ask me, hey, I've gone the course, but I won't be able to get the crash out course until like we're in the middle of the webinars. That still will be available for people during the webinars.
Right. You guys. For $698.
Yeah.
So it will be a little higher. But hey, that's kind of
the party. The party won't empty. And then a rough date when I think it'll start. It'll probably start maybe a few days, 4 or 5 days after the last webinar on the night after the.
Me and Miguel, like first of all, after this push that we do, and we have that 8 to 12 hour stream on Tuesday, we'll need a couple days.
Yeah,
right. That's for sure. And then after we do the course, we'll need a couple days again. And then we'll do the crash course, and then we'll need a few days, and then we'll get back on YouTube at some point there in the first half of May. But yeah, guys, if you really want to get in on the goodness that it will be setting up here for Q2, definitely get into the crypto mindset course. We don't put it at this point in time for nothing. We are going into the next 60-day cycle low. So it is the time to be paying attention. It is the time to be looking to take shots, but not abruptly and not randomly, not haphazardly. We'll do so with lots and lots of strategy. So come in and see what we got going.
And we're going to be gone for the whole month of April and honestly a good chunk of May as well.
Yeah.
It's going to suck to be anyone who's not in, dudes.
Yep.
Sorry. Oof. And for the last time, because people keep asking us, yes, you can pay with crypto and get the Citadel discount combined.
Correct.
If you're in the Citadel, you can fuse them together, but email it.
Yeah, you have to email us support@cultivatecrypto.com. Literally scroll down to the description section. All of the instructions for how to do that are there on each product.
This is kind of, no matter what you're doing, you're always going to get, it's like you're in the classroom. Someone in the back of the class is going to ask the same question. Hey, so brother, I said that was an hour ago.
Like I literally on YouTube, what I've noticed is you could say the same thing for a month straight, and there's still going to be some asshole in the back that's like, "What was that again?"
So where's these 100x flyers? Like, how do I get in 100x flyers? Lol, that's so funny. You build up the what you do in 26 is to build up for 26 and 27 and 28. You're building. If you're going to be a degenerate, you at least will have the capital in Bitcoin and Ethereum that you can spend off, and it'll help you save up a lot of your real life capital. So you don't have to, if you just like, if you buy correctly in 26, you will have the money on if you're going to spend all your Ethereum into horse shit and Ethereum and Bitcoin into horse shit, at least you'll have the capital there.
That's what Jamie Dimon calls Bitcoin.
Yep. Is the webinar recorded? See it. A CMC classic. Yes. All the webinars are recorded. The only thing that's ever not recorded is there sometimes is like unrecorded AMAs, as well as occasionally we do have an unrecorded portion of an AMA, but that's sensitive. Like some people are saying like too much sensitive information. We're just not going to record that. Like we just don't, we're not going to, hey, Mio, my social security number is this and this and that. And I live here in Podunk, Mississippi, and this and, we're not going to have that in the webinars, obviously. Can we use, motherfucker? Can we use a Citadel discount when paying in crypto? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And for all the people who hate Illuvium, you can use Illuvium and buy the crypto mindset course to get a 10% bonus for using Illuvium. For people like, I hate fucking Illuvium, you can dump it right now.
For 259.98 Illuvium. I'm surprised it's not 1,000 Illuvium, but to be honest, hey,
use it for a good thing. Dump that shit now if that's what if you hate it that bad. If you hate GameFi with a passion, dump now. I think you can even do eHex as well, believe it or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get in there, baby. And I'll throw one of those in the chat. But
yeah, I wanted to share the screen real quick on something with Bitcoin. So like, I mean, obviously, like this is going to be something we're going to talk about, but like Grant Cardone is going to be a bit of a player in this next cycle.
Yeah, when it comes to tokenized real estate, he's willing to be the first in front of that trend, which I think is pretty hard.
Crisscross. I'm about to fucking smack you, dog.
The whole chat just ends up trolling. Like,
no, I don't. This is bad with you. But like now, this is really interesting, right? This is he is doing. Because he's really rich. He has a ton of apartments. So he has like 100,000 units, right? 100,000 apartments, right? Which means he has 100,000 individuals paying him rent, right? If you're a smaller player in the YouTube game and the real estate game, they're just selling off all the properties right now or getting rid of everything, right? What he's doing right here, he's like, my goal is to have 25 pristine apartments in perfect locations and 10,000 Bitcoin, right? Which means it's like, I want less headaches, but I want the most cash flowing properties as well as the ones that will probably appreciate over time that I can pass off to my kids. Because like it's true, like it's really like 20%, 25% of your portfolio is like the best part of it, and you got the other part that you're just waiting on, or like could be a bunch of problems and stuff like that. Yeah. It's the same thing when I was doing like construction or landscaping. There's like some clients are just incredible, perfect, easy jobs, bunch of money, and then some jobs are just like, God damn, this is just is this worth it, really?
Right.
So let's listen to what he has to say.
I've only been doing this for 11 months. So
I think I'll be at 10,000 coins by the end of the year. The goal used to be to have 100,000 apartments. Now the goal is 25,000 pristine apartments in perfect locations and 10,000 Bitcoin. And it's easier to do this model that I'm doing now. By the way, every 7 or 8 or 10 years, I don't have roofs and plumbing problems and siding problem and paint problems on at least the portion of the Bitcoin. I certainly have it on the buildings. But, I want the build.
I mean, that's a fucking good ass point. Yeah. My digital real estate is not nearly as much of a headache as my physical real estate. Right. But the tax code is different for physical real estate. So there's different benefits to having that. Banks treat it differently now. But he's smart enough to understand that's all going to change.
Right. And he's getting ahead of the curve on this, even though people hate Grant or whatever, or think he's whatever. Or...
He's smarter than 99.9% of real estate companies just by doing that Bitcoin. Yeah, that's it.
Being first through the door is like
huge.
It's huge. It's like, what have I told you when you got into the business, Charlie? There's only 3 ways to make it. Either you're first, you cheat, or you steal. but it's just the whole thing was it's always a whole lot easier just to be first. So he's like, be smarter, be first, or cheat. And I'm not a cheater.
Well, and if you listen to the book or read the book, The Sovereign Individual, right, that gives you a bit of an idea of kind of just where this whole thing kind of like germinated from and where it's kind of going and all that stuff. But yeah, one day you'll see lots. I mean, we were talking to those guys that were real estate bankers when we started saying tokenization. They were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. But yeah, just digital real estate. We're going into the digital age, and digital real estate is going to be just as important, if not more important here. So, I mean, 10,000 Bitcoin when it's $1 million. It's not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Because he's getting close to 10,000 Bitcoin. I mean, that's a fucking, at 100 grand, it's $1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah. And he can borrow on that, buy more real estate.
Do a lot of things. He already has a fund that already uses to buy Bitcoin, but he's talking about tokenizing the real estate into tokens, which is the difference. Because he has really the first ever real Bitcoin real estate fund already. Like 20% of the profits get used to buy Bitcoin. He can borrow on it. Like 80% of the revenues going. I mean, it's very interesting.
I wonder how far he is to the 10,000 Bitcoin, because if he gets there sooner than he thinks, he could easily shift that strategy to Ethereum afterwards too.
Oh, definitely, he could do a lot of things with it. Because there's no here's the thing. Gun to your head, right? Where do you think the tokens are going to be launched on? For his RW. Fuck off, bro. Well, they could.
But
you son of a bitch.
That's where he's probably going to do it. But where should he do it? He probably should do it on Ethereum. But at the same time, you probably say he probably should be doing this strategy for Ethereum right now, but he's doing it on Bitcoin. So he will, in that sense, probably step back to the thing that is the most for sure.
Yeah.
Which would be Ethereum.
Yeah. He does it on base. I'm like, wow, what the hell?
Hey,
but yeah, he's
partnerships.
He has to do a partnership to make sure it's managed correctly and stuff, because he's probably gonna have to put it in some way where he's just not legally responsible for the tokens, but he makes sure that I think the smarter way to do it is have someone else run the token for him and all that stuff, and then him be more in charge to make sure the rents are coming in.
Yeah,
to pay the dividends, because that's gonna be because I've said this before. He's gonna take he's gonna just like the BlackRock ETFs, all the original ETFs have high fees relative to like the SPY or whatever, the spiders or whatever, in terms of like the S&P 500 ones or the NASDAQ that's been around a long time, that they get cost cutted down.
Yeah,
he's going to charge a huge nut for management of it. But the reason he's also paying for that is because he has to make sure these apartments are rented out and actually paying this income out, and he has to be a steward and make sure to when to pay less in order to fix roofs and do all these things. Yeah, exactly, right. So I get it. So let's see.
Plumbing problems and siding problem and paint problems on at least the portion of the Bitcoin. I certainly have it on the buildings. But, I want the building. Michael, when I met with Michael, he says, Grant, you're not going to even want this real estate at the end. I said, dude, I appreciate you, Mike. You're a genius. I love you, bro. But wrong. Okay.
Sailor?
Yeah.
I love you, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Michael's like, to be honest, if you put your eggs in all in one basket, you'll probably
get fucked one day.
No, you'll probably actually do better, because you want to put all those eggs in Bitcoin. But right, it is better. It is more responsible to hedge between the two.
You have to hedge. I mean, like you're right. You can go all in and you really can win, of course. But like Cardone's, if he's not a billionaire, he's basically. I mean, he's already a billionaire. I mean, like but basically, he's close to being a billionaire, and he's going to be a billionaire. I mean, all right. Riddle me this.
How old is he now?
He's probably entering his 60s. I'd say. Like Grant Cardone is
68. Wow.
60. Wow, he looks good for 68. God damn.
Yeah, he's keeping himself up.
That's what I'm saying. You're not ugly. You're just poor. It's the truth, you guys.
He has $4 billion under assets.
But that's not him. He controls that, but that's not his.
Under management.
That's under management. Yeah. Anyway, let's just keep going. It's fine. But like having fuck what anyone tells you. Mailbox money is what really matters.
Right.
At the end of the day, those big hits are nice. But like getting to the point where like I got 5,000 coming no matter what, 10,000 no matter 100. That's what matters because that can protect you lifestyle. Sure, it's always better to get you have a decision if you can get all the money you earn in a year in one paycheck versus spread out. Usually, like if you're smart, like you can do a lot of damage or a lot of like good. There's more power in all the money bulked up in one hit.
Right.
But if you have no choice, fuck it. I mean, having mailbox money is always important. The thing with Sailor is like Sailor's really not making that much money. He's just able to borrow and he's playing a lot of leverage games,
right,
and stuff like that. Like versus like Cardone, he's got money always coming in, and that's why he's gonna have a lot of cash on hand because he's getting out of a lot of apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And those apartments that he's keeping, they're probably paid very well because the interest he's locked them in at like basically zero, basically. Because guys like him could get 2.9%
right
yield. Like damn. Like he's paying almost nothing on it. Free real estate. A lot of there was some real estate deals he had where he was paying interest only. You know, Ben Mala had that and stuff. I mean, you had guys like not just Grant Cardone, but you had Rich Dad Poor Dad as well. Doing this. I mean, when you get to that level, you get these fucking sweetheart deals.
Yeah, for sure.
I love you, bruh, but like wrong. Okay, I have real estate that will be it will be around longer than Facebook. So. The real estate that I'm buying today, 100 years from now, someone will live in it. Someone will pay rent. The rent won't be $4,000. The rent will be $14,000. And
what he's probably talking about here is that he probably has real estate in certain vacation spots that are always going to be popular.
Right.
Which is there is like the real estate's a hard game, but if you get prime real estate and you keep it is a very long-term asset. It's like you have a gang stress property in Lake Tahoe. As long as Lake Tahoe doesn't just fucking evaporate, it's worth a lot. Like you've told me about your family, how like you guys had like that, like all that lake,
on Lake Minnetonka,
how much is it worth now? You know what I'm saying? It's like so being able to buy in good places and stuff that's that can go very well.
Yeah, the thing though, right, is like the thing about generational wealth is it's good to have, but at the same time, like you got to spend a portion of it during your lifetime to enjoy it yourself.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Right. It's sort of the thing where like you almost have to make so much more that like it's almost like you have to. I mean, you hope to be in the best position where you're making so much you don't care about like you're investing for the future, but like
you have a lot of access.
That's the best scenario. Versus other times it's like, sometimes you got to plant a tree that you'll never enjoy the shade of. There's that too as well.
Right. But somebody that you care about will.
Yeah. Exactly.
Poof. Pay rent. The rent won't be $4,000. The rent will be $14,000. And the rents are going to continue to grow in this country. So I have I have the real estate. I have the real usage. I have the cash flow. I have the write-offs. This last deal that we did, we wrote off $56 million in depreciation for our investors day one on a $230 million asset with $100 million worth of Bitcoin. So our Bitcoin owners, investors actually got depreciation and tax write-offs against their earned income. And
so I mean, like he's not wrong. He's playing the game, Hey, shout out to him.
Yep.
This it's all merging together, man. And this was the plan eventually. Like I mean, like crypto technology is fusing with everything else. Onto the blockchain. Dude, Jack, all he does is post naked bitches, bro. God damn, Jack. Shout out to Jack.
He knows nobody can complain about that.
Yeah, no one can complain about that. But it makes me laugh a little bit.
But what do you call it? Yeah, just in terms of being able to get in the course, you'll be able to get in until Thursday, April 2nd at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So definitely jump on in. Tomorrow, we have an announcement. I don't know if you want to mention that. Nah. Sorry, cancel it. Never going to happen. No, we're going to have a mega webinar tomorrow. So we're going to rug for a day.
No streams tomorrow.
No streams on Cultivate Crypto or Dollar Cost Crypto tomorrow. We're going to do a mega webinar with previous crypto mindset courses.
The Citadel.
And the Citadel, of course. At what? 5
p.m.
30 p.m.
Yeah, 5:30. You know, we'll on FNF time. On FNF time.
Yeah, we'll put it in the chats. But about 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. We'll jump into that, and then we'll be back on YouTube for the last time on the Cultivate Crypto Show for the 8 to 12 hour stream on Tuesday. And then you guys have until Thursday, the 2nd at midnight Pacific Standard Time to get in. Then we rug pull, and then we start webinars on Saturday. So we're right around the corner there for the course.
I know
it's going to be a good one.
We got one. We got one more webinar, one more stream, and then Ruginara.
Right. Yeah. Sayonara. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the mains. But any final words? No.
We dropped a lot of gems here, you guys. We like to like really give the juice on these last streams here, because we feel a little bad because it's like we're gonna be off of YouTube for like a month and a half, damn near. You know, so like but
it's your own fault.
It's our own fault. I know. Like, head to the top of the mountains. Maybe you might not drown. I don't know. Good luck, bros.
Hey, we put a lot out there for you guys.
Yeah, we put a lot out there for you guys. But thank you so much for joining us, you guys. It's been Moongang 109, 52K Bitcoin. You now know why.
209.
You buy this for $39.99. Guess what, folks? You take the L away. You put a W there, baby. You're a winner, man. You're the real deal. You're picking up chicks. Let me tell you something. You buy this set at $39.99, baby. You're the cock of the walk, man. You walk into the bar and you just find the hottest chick and you go, you, me. Guess what? She says, why would I go out with you? Because I bought the deal on Wild West Deals for $39.99. That's why. She says, can I go home with you? That's how simple it is. That's how it works. That's what this set brings to the table. Because you know what she sees? She sees a man who knows what he wants. She sees a man who says, good deals don't get by me, baby. I move. I act quick. I act now. I go to wildwestdeals.com. Boom. That's why you're hanging with chicks all night long. That's why you got guys like Michael Jordan calling you, wanting to hang out with you, baby. Because you bought it for $39.99.